What brought you to seeking someone that does like what I do?
I've never had it done, so it's something I want to do. This is something. There's some certain things that I like. This is something I want to do. I want to do hypnosis. Remember when Robin Big did it?
Oh yeah.
So I want to do hypnosis.
Someone to do it on you?
Yeah.
Why?
Just something to experience. I don't know.
Nigga. Hypnotize you to do what?
I don't know. I'll figure that out when the time comes.
I mean, that's really the most beautiful perspective to have, and you know what I've learned about life is, and our existence is that we're literally just here for the experience. I think that we are raised to believe that we're always like striving for something and achieving something. So we really always think about the destination, like where we're going, what we're going to be, where we're ending up, I guess you could say. But then we don't really enjoy enough of the journey, enough of the getting there.
Right.
I feel that.
Which is the fun part.
Yeah. That's the fun part. That's what I'm saying. It's the fun part. And that's really, I think when you start experiencing life from that place, then you really actually experience life.
Right.
You get something out of every moment of it, every experience of it. And it stops being about where you're headed and it starts being about where am I headed next? You know, what am I experiencing now?
Right.
Dropping gems.
Dropping big jewels.
So I'm definitely going to start the clip from there. But welcome to another episode of Not Included. I'm Skoota. Got Snax, my cousin Snax here.
What it do?
My brother Chris, Mose.
What's happening, man?
And my guy Nick, NASCAR Nick.
What it do?
And we have a special guest here. She's gonna do a card reading for us. It's Renee. So real quick, how is everybody doing? Everybody good?
Solid, brother.
Yes.
Peace.
Feeling great. Excited.
Peace.
Swell.
All right, that's great. So, well, let's get right to it. Can you, is there anything you need from us before you get started? Well, you can introduce yourself, first.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll introduce myself and then just get an idea of what you're wanting me to kind of dive into. If you want me to just kind of pick up a general reading for everybody or for all of you guys or for yourself and personal, it can pretty much, it's all about the intention. So when I go in, it'll just be behind whatever it is that, you're looking to gain from the reading. But before I go into that, I am Renee. My first name is actually, tidbit fun fact about me, my first name is actually Lavinia. My middle name is Renee. I go by Renee for my business, and pretty much all of my community and family know me that way. My soul family knows me that way. So you can find me on a bunch of platforms. I won't say all because there are like trillions of platforms out there, and I'm new to all of that. But I'm on, IG, Facebook. I have a website. So my website has a link to everything that you'll find there. That's reneeintune.com. So Renee in Tune is my platform name. I am a tarot reader. But that's kind of like, I always say tarot is the gateway for me. So it opened me up to just a whole new world of understanding, period, on many different levels. So tarot reader, psychic, intuitive, astrology. I am an astrologer, so I like to teach astrology more than actually doing natal charts. So that's something that I don't spend too much time doing. I rather teach you how to be able to read your own natal chart. That's the fun part for me. I would say probably an aspirational mentor. I just offer a lot of inspiration I talk about the laws of attraction, the universe being mental, the laws of polarity, neutrality, causality, masculine and feminine energy, things of that nature. So with that being said, that's me and what I do. And I am very excited to be here. And thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm excited to have you here.
Welcome.
We're all excited to have you here.
Quick question.
Awesome.
You don't gotta be in person to do this?
Did you hear him? I don't know.
No, I did not.
He said, "Do you don't have to be in person to do this?" Speaking to the mic again. I don't know if it's okay. I can't
Hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I just always thought this had to be done in person, but cool.
So I can hear you. It just sounds low.
I got the mic close.
Speak again.
It's better?
Can you hear him now?
A little bit.
Let's get it together, DJ. Got it?
It's been a while since I've done this virtually like this. So, can you hear him now?
Is it better? As I'm clear?
It is better, yes.
Okay.
I was just saying I thought always, obviously I don't know anything about it, but I just thought it had to be done like in person. How is it gonna work virtually?
How does tarot work?
Yeah, like virtually though, how does it work?
Oh, virtually. Well, tarot is energy based. So it's all about exchanging energy and feeling energy, which we all do anyway. So I often say to everyone that I talk to, I talk about things like telepathy, right? We have learned about these things in terms of being very far away from us, or mystical, magical, mystical, magnanimous, things of that nature. But I equate it to almost as if, say you were walking into a place, right, an apartment or something. Say you were coming to your family's house, you're on the way, you had to go run to the store. They had a big old argument while you're not, before you even got there. You don't know what happened. Nobody called you. Nobody told you what happened. But when you step into the room, you can often feel the tension, right? Before anybody's even said anything, you're like, oh, okay, I feel, I felt that. What happened in here? Or, you might have those times where you think about somebody, right? And a couple days later, they call you and you're like, damn, I was just thinking about you,
This happened to me recently.
It's energy exchange, right? So I break it down to those simple ways, because I think that people think, like if I was to tell you I'm a tarot reader or a psychic, people start thinking all types of things like, magic and witchery, sorcery, which to me, all of those things are the same as you telling yourself every day that you're going to win a tournament and believing in it wholeheartedly. And, because you have that outlook on it, things just kind of fall into place. And as opposed to you saying every day, well, I can't do this. And then you're really, really dragging yourself through the process. And then on one hand, you might, it might work out for you. On the other hand, it might not. And this happens all across the world. You've got people doing the same thing. And what I would say the difference between any two people in any two fields is the belief or the disbelief, one or the other. So it's all an energy exchange. I'm just open to the idea that everything that I'm feeling and it comes to me is not necessarily coincidence. It is all, aligning. It's all meant. It all means something. So you can do what I do, you know what I mean? Which you probably do. Some of you guys are, very good at reading people, like you might meet a person and from the first time you talk to that person, you're like, dang, you seem like, you're into this, or you do this, that, and the third, or whatever. You might not know them from a can of paint, but from that first initial meeting, there's probably a lot of things you can tell about that person. It's the same thing I do. It's all energy. It's just on different levels and different levels of awareness. So when I'm doing, I've just gotten to a place now where I don't have to necessarily be in front of you. I could just feel your energy. I do it all the time virtually. So it's just, I've utilized it. I've challenged myself to utilize it. So it just opens up and expands. It's not anything I think anyone doesn't have the ability to do. I just think it's something that most people don't believe that they can do. And so that's why it doesn't seem that way. So when I'm tapping into your energy, I'm just, I'm the cards are a tool. So when I look at them, I know what the cards mean. So when I look at the cards, I pull them, I'm asking for, insight. I'm asking for guidance. But to me, it's the blind spots, I'm asking for your blind spots, the parts you can't see within your energy field, just to offer you guidance. And that's a disclaimer I like to give out too. Energy is always in motion. It's always moving. So when you get a tarot reading, and this is for anyone who's listening, when you get a tarot reading from someone, you want to remember that, I know that when you think tarot, there's a lot of out there of terms that would be, correlated with that. So there's a lot of like fortune teller and things of that nature. Now, oftentimes we do tap, the energy is always moving. So oftentimes we do tap into future energy, but I like for people to know that what I'm pulling is from your current energy right now. Now, whatever you're feeling right now might not be what you're feeling tomorrow, might not have been what you were feeling yesterday. So you're always deciding, every day you're deciding what energy you're going to be in. This happens in two different ways. Either you decide the energy you're going to be in and you take that with you everywhere that you go, or you look around at everything happening around you. So this could be people you're dealing with at work, your living situation, whatever's around you. And you are unaware that you are in the control of your own energy. And so now you're in a mode of reaction. You're in reactory. So you're reacting to everything around you. So your day is kind of happening as everything else around you is happening, as opposed to the other way around. So, it's really just insight. It's insight into your energy. A lot of times I can pick up past energy, future energy, but it's all the same thing to me, because I'm a big believer in the mental and how we attract. So if you're always thinking about yesterday, then you're probably always manifesting yesterday into tomorrow. You know what I mean? But if you start thinking about something different and you start making that a habit, you're going to start watching your life shift and move around, and you're going to be manifesting something different. So all this is perspective. It's giving you insight into your own energy, what's happening around you. And there's a few different ways that happens. The cards are one thing, because it kind of lays out the story for me. And so I get to look at them and see how the cards relate to each other, and they unfold in a story. All the cards mean something different, but they have relationships with each other when they're coming out. Two, it's anything that pops out, it's intuition. So my intuition will pop things out. I mean, it could be something in the artwork, you know what I mean, on the card that stands out. It could be something that I know about in astrology that kind of ties into the reading. And then there's feeling. So I'm sometimes able to pick up on people's feeling, like when I read online, oftentimes I get hot, or my nose will get itchy, or I might feel a pain. Sometimes I can feel what the other person is feeling. And this is all different. Everybody I feel is capable of all those things, but we all tap into different levels of it. Sometimes it's a smell, you know what I mean? I've been able to smell things like chocolate, grass, like just different things that people are doing. It's like a whiff of it. And I think we always experience things like that, but we don't always know exactly what it means or where it's coming from. But we're always energetically, we all have like this aura bubble around us, I guess you could say. And as we move through the world, we're interacting with each other all the time. So I would say that that's probably the main, place that it comes from, that energetic interaction. So all I'm doing is just, you're offering me consent. That I'm big on that. I know there's a lot of people that will, give out, the spirit told me to tell you this, or the spirit told me to tell you that. I don't function in that manner. I'm just all about respect and consent. I feel like it's important. People, it's just like if you had a book and you were reading the book and you were interested in the book and it's amazing, and you offer the book to someone else, that person may not be interested in that, you know what I mean? So they're not going to get the same things out of this book that you got from it, because they're not interested in it. Now, another person might say, oh my gosh, this is right up my alley, and they'll read the book and they'll get a lot out of it, and then maybe you guys can talk about it. But everybody isn't going to hear the same thing from the same, source, even though it's coming at them the same way, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When you asked that, I thought about Miss Cleo first. That was the first thing that popped in my head when you asked.
Really, bro?
Yeah, like Miss Cleo was doing it for years.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
Yeah, call me
there's
now.
a documentary coming out on that, apparently, about
Oh, really?
how that went.
That is so wild.
Yeah.
I'd never heard about that.
I can't wait to see it. I'm definitely
So is this supposed to be just about her?
From what I heard, I didn't do my research. I just heard somebody else talking about it. I guess it's about the money that they made behind that. Apparently, she was a part of a company. Like it wasn't her. She was a part of the company.
Yeah.
For some reason, she just was the one that blew
The
up.
face of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's so funny. I know. That's my. I remember because that was like my era growing up. So she, Miss Cleo, call me now.
call me now.
Call me now for your free tarot reading.
I think it was it had to be.
I know. Some younger people, I guess, may not like get that that reference, but
Yeah.
that's hilarious. I was actually raised Christian, and so I think a lot of people when they hear tarot, they think I was raised that was very. I'm Latina. I'm Puerto Rican, so it was like things like that are very taboo considered, depending on where you're raised and your background or whatnot.
Right.
Those things are very taboo or like scary or creepy or even like satanic and things of that nature. I mean, once I like dived into, I've researched many religions and spiritual backgrounds. So what I guess at some point on my journey, I thought that I would find a home, a resonance, something that I'm like, this is it. This is it. This is the one for me. But what I really found is that all things date back to the same thing. When you go further and further back onto this planet, you'll find that the core values and principles of pretty much anything that you can find are going to stem back to this all one, origin, and they just kind of break off into little sects, I guess you would say.
Right. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, how could you think tarot reading is evil or whatever, but think that religions, I mean, what's the difference, really?
Yeah, it is. It's all the same stuff.
Got another man praying.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that you have that open perspective because I talk about that often. It's so funny. Well, I don't know how deep you guys want to go into this conversing with me because I'll have y'all talking about all types of stuff. But there are certain conversations I stay away from because they're very controversial amongst people. So I kind of feel people out and see where they're at with it. But I sometimes bring up when I'm talking about that the relationship with Jesus and the Bible and everything that he was talking about, and as opposed to like other deities or gods or goddesses and other I guess cultures or backgrounds or whatever you want to call it. And it's so funny because a lot of the stuff he was doing was like the same stuff that sorcerers or witches are doing. You know what I mean? Like it's the same stuff. Energy healing, Reiki. Like I can do Reiki, and he was laying his hands on people. You know what I mean? Parting the water, walking on water, just all types of things like that. Yeah. So it's so funny to me because I think that people separate so much on this planet, and really all of it is just the same stuff from a different angle. I call it I'll say different lighting.
Different lighting.
Yeah, well, we can get into the card reading thing, I guess. I don't know how
Let's do it.
Need some background from us or
well, only just what you're wanting to. You just want me to pull like a collective general message for us or for you guys, or do you want me to pull for you specifically, or do you have a specific question? So it can really be done however you decide.
what do y'all want?
It's up to you.
I don't know, we haven't discussed this. I probably should have discussed this with y'all before.
That would have been a good idea.
We're getting a card read.
Well, I think just start out with you getting one yourself, and then maybe we could all decide like I want one, he won't, or whatever.
Okay, I guess I'll be the guinea pig.
Yeah,
Start
you
with me.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You're gonna be the guinea pig? Okay, let's do it. Step into the hot seat.
Wow.
All right, let's talk about it.
This is gonna be fun. I got my spray.
Where the sage?
My
Sage.
aromatherapy spray. I got this. Hold on, I got that. Here we go.
Huh? Oh, so I'm smoking
What's the
sage.
scent of it?
Dude, you know what? I'm finna roll my
said
sage
the
up then, G.
Yeah,
It's
That's
sandalwood and vanilla.
Snacks, though.
sandalwood.
Oh, it's shade all night.
You prepared?
That shit was smoking. What were you talking about, Dick?
Thanks, bro. My pot's good. My pot's good, stupid bastard. Hate you. And he for sure not getting a reading. Snack's not getting nothing.
You need to read for sure. You're not getting fucking reading, bro.
Snaps need to read for sure.
Like she only mess with good energies.
She mess with you, dude.
No, yours.
What you say?
That's crazy. Another one.
What your ass say?
What your? Not the Steve Harvey.
I ain't gonna bring it up this. I'm gonna let it die out, bro. I'm gonna let it die out. I ain't gonna bring it up this.
What your ass say?
Nah, I was just watching Josh's Family Vacation, bro.
Oh, yeah,
Bro, that shit's so horrible, bro. But they got some funny ass part moments in that motherfucking dog.
that movie hilarious. I ain't watched it in a while.
She ready? I didn't hear the card.
So
She was shuffling them. I heard.
Oh.
You ain't hear it?
No, I said I heard them like stop. That's what I
yeah.
said.
yeah, you heard the cards.
Cease.
Look, he ready. He tapped in.
He ready.
Ready. Okay.
You should have went first.
Nick
then.
go second. Nick go second.
Scared at his own place.
That is too funny. You're gonna be pulling them next.
That's cool.
All right.
So
what we got?
Say the best.
So what I'm picking up more than anything right now is like career energy. You know, I feel like there's the Four of Swords popping out. This is like an energy of taking a break. I feel like you took a break from something. I don't know if you were doing one type of career. Maybe you're thinking about changing it or something like that. The Seven of Pentacles is here. So this is like almost like it has two different energies. It's all again about perspective. So when I see the Seven of Pentacles, this tells me you may feel like things are a little stagnant right now. Maybe things aren't moving along. But what this actually is, what's happening is your direction is changing. The star is at the bottom of the deck, and this is all about the star is it's healing energy, but it's innovative energy. The star happens when you have been you've been healing things from your past, and you've been it opens you up to some gifts and things that you have that you didn't know about from before, right? And as you do this, those things start boiling over onto other people. Like other people seeing you do this, and they're like, okay, wait a minute, I see you. What can I learn from you? But the Four of Swords is a break energy. It talks about resting and relaxing, but I'm not getting that with you. It's not like a physical rest. This is you kind of taking a mental break from things, maybe having to separate yourself from some people, maybe having to separate yourself from, some places that you were at before often. You kind of had to get away a little bit and get into your own space. And this was just to gain some mental clarity. Like, I feel like you were looking to clean out some clutter in your brain, how you were looking at things. And so now this puts you in the Seven of Pentacles energy, which is like, it feels like stagnancy to you, almost like maybe, okay, business is not moving. Maybe I'm not exactly sure, what I want to do career-wise. Maybe what I'm doing now isn't fulfilling me completely. So you're in this energy of what might feel like stagnancy, but it's just a place of evaluation. So when, I know everybody can't see the card, but she's leaning on this tree. She's got a basket, and not a lot is happening, but she's really just chilling. She's soaking it all in. She's got her leg up. So what this is a period about evaluation for you. It's because you went through that star energy where you healed a lot of stuff, that you finally figured out these things from my past were affecting me, and I'm not really, feeling like the course of things. So let me just switch some things around and see what else what I've learned from these things, and where I'm headed. So the Seven of Pentacles says it's an evaluation period. Since now you've grown, where you were headed before, like the idea that you had before monetarily, what you wanted to do career-wise, it's now shifting, it's changing. So you might have a different destination point than you used to have because you've learned some new things about yourself. Now you've grown, you've gone into this this new level of doing things. Now the star is also very Aquarian energy, so it's all about that innovation, futuristic type of thing, finding new ways to do things, and it talks about humanitarianism too. So I find that you might have moved from doing something different before, maybe something more physical, to now connecting, like kind of like what this podcast is, when you're getting a social media presence, you're building a social media presence, you're getting more out in the open with the work that you're doing now. I think that you're finding fulfillment here. The Sun is the next card. So this is you're seeking something that's going to bring you happiness, that's going to bring you
It's a little scary.
fulfillment in your work. Like you don't want your work. You don't want your work. You don't want your work to feel like work, and that's where you're at now. So you're in this evaluation process of figuring out how can I do work and of monetary value, but that's something I'm having fun doing. And so I get this energy of like almost like the argument between the parent and child within you, because the sun is representative of father, but the sun also rules children. This is Leo energy. It's it's like the parent in your head says, yeah, but we got to do things this way because we got to take care of this and we got to be responsible for this and that and the third. But then the kid in you is like, but we want to do this. We want to have fun, So that's what this Seven of Pentacles is all about. It's not for the purposes of you feeling stuck or stagnant in your career. It's just that this period of time, energetically, the universe is offering you an opportunity. And I'll say yourself, your higher self, your soul. Sometimes your soul, on the outside, we say things and we think things that we're told or taught sometimes. So we'll say like say when somebody asks you how you're doing, you'll generally say, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm doing okay. But that doesn't always mean that you're feeling fine and good and doing okay on the inside. But we just say that the words and the emotion doesn't always line up. So even though you were doing whatever you were doing before for your career, your body, your emotions, your inner you was like, yeah, we're not really with this. So what happened is it caused some friction, it caused some stagnancy. These things started being attracted to you. Maybe some issues at work. I'm not sure if they were like with other people or just kind of you losing the desire to like be there or doing whatever we were doing. And I feel like now this period is a time for you to evaluate what do you enjoy doing most? What do you enjoy doing most? What do you love to do? Because the sun is all about fun. It's all about enjoying yourself. And I think that whatever you're doing, the Three of Pentacles is what's in the blockage here. So the Three of Pentacles talks about work, but it talks about crafts, skills. In this journey of you going through this little bit of a healing process and then kind of seeing things a little clearly, taking a break from people, taking a break from stuff, maybe even taking a break from work. I don't know if that's what you did or not, but I get this energy like you just really took a break from some stuff and you needed to clear your head. You found that you had some talents. You got some talents and skills. Yeah. Yeah, well, it felt more like mental clarity than anything else. Yeah. So I don't see that as, well, in your energy, you don't feel it as physical because sometimes this card can be like health issues, with certain people. No, but it felt like mental clarity, like you just needed to clear the clutter and the noise of everything else so that you could hear yourself think. That's kind of what it felt like. And so you went into this moment of like, okay, things are just not really moving right now, but I'm figuring things out. The Three of Pentacles in the blockage. So this tells me you finding some skills that you have that maybe before you might have knew they were there. I don't even think you knew they were there. I think some pieces of it you knew were there before, but it was almost like, oh, that's a hobby. That's just something I like to do in my downtime. That's just something I like to do when nobody else is around. But I feel even more so that you're finding out capabilities that you have that you didn't even know were there before. And you're like, damn, this is really a gift. I think I can use this. I think I can do something with this. And this is something you have fun doing. And this is something that other people are going to want to watch you do. They're going to enjoy you doing it. The Five of Swords is here. So I feel like with other people in your space, you were, and this is backing up this Four of Swords, I feel like they were invading your confidence level. You know what I mean? Like, it's like maybe you had like maybe you had an idea about something and the people around you would say, well, you sure you could do that? Because that don't sound like it makes sense. Or maybe that don't sound like, and so there was a lot of doubt being thrown at you, and you had to kind of get yourself into a place. The Two of Pentacles is here too. So I get the energy that you might even have some people that you do a lot of things for. They call you and say, hey, I need you to do this real quick. Can you do that for me? I got a favor to ask you. Can you do that for me? And so your energy was just being stretched too many places. You had to reel it back in, and also just figure out what are my values, what's important to me, and that's what I'm going to focus my priority on. That's what I'm going to prioritize. That's where I'm going to focus my energy on. And so now you're realizing that the doubts that you had about you being able to do something that maybe isn't, that maybe it could be in terms of people, working with people. Like, I feel like you're a big humanitarian at heart. So I get the energy. You want to do something to help people at some point on a more grand scale, like get involved in community. I also feel like you like techie things. So you want to incorporate, not just the internet, not just social media, but like you want to create things that are accessible to people online. You know what I mean? Like you're creating presences, you're creating things that can be done using technology that will help other people too, or access whatever information you're wanting to put out. And I also think that you just want to kind of enlighten people on what you were enlightened with in your life. So it's almost like when you learn something, you're like, okay, yeah, I want to teach people about this. I want to tell people about this. I want to show them about this. And so once you started getting out of the clutter of other people's opinions and ideas, you started realizing that doubt isn't even coming from me. That don't have nothing to do with me. That confidence, that's other people's doubt. That's other people's lack of confidence. And so without that clutter, you started feeling a lot more confidence. And here comes the Two of Wands, which I call people, this is the ball is in your court card. The Two of Wands is backing up the Sun card, which is your happiness. And so this means you've already always known what you wanted to do. In it, like energetically, like on the inside, you just we're standing at a crossroads. Hesitant to make a step in that direction because you're still thinking about this world over here, everything that I taught, everything I heard, everything other people told me. Maybe that's not practical. Maybe I can't do that. Maybe that's not going to work. And so now this is telling you, okay, the ball is in your court, the power is in your hands, and you already know that what you want to do is fulfilling. You already know it's going to bring you happiness. Are you going to take the step or not? Are you going to take the step or not? The Six of Cups is here with the Three of Pentacles. The Six of Cups is a card about harmony. It's about balance. So you're building this relationship with yourself rather than all the focus that you spent on building those relationships with other people around you before. So you're finding this new harmony and balance within yourself as you decide to do what you really want to do as opposed to what seemed practical before. And the World card is the next card. So this is like, those who know tarot know the tarot deck starts with the Fool card, the major arcanas, which represent the major events in life, starts with the Fool card. They call it the Fool's Journey, and it ends with the World card. And the World card says you've come full circle.
Like FOOL?
Yes.
Okay.
FOOL. Yeah. And they call it the Fool's Journey because it talks about stepping into something almost blindly without thinking so much about it. Us as human beings, we like to think ourselves into a loop. You know what I mean? So you're getting ready with this. What happens is it's almost like the 10 and the 1 when when you drop the 0 to 10 becomes 1. So it's like the end of a journey and the start of a new journey at the same time. So you're at this World card place. And you see how I know everybody else can't see my card, but you can see it. You see how she's sitting on top of this world? Yeah. She's got all these things in her hand. She looks zen as I don't want to cuss if I can't hear.
No, you can. Do you need
okay,
these
cool.
guys?
Okay, cool. Because it comes out of me sometimes. Because I know I'm on a new platform, so
you speak how you speak.
Okay. Well, yeah, she's looking zen as fuck right now. So she's sitting on top of the world. The world is literally sitting in a lotus. And this is where you are right now. You're like, okay, I've learned a lot of stuff from this journey. There was a time when I feel like with your career, like whatever work you were doing before, there was a time when you were like bringing in the money you wanted to bring in. You were good. Like you might have had, your car, your jewelry, your people, your whatever, your friends around you, everything kind of made sense. But at the same time, energetically inside you were like, okay, well, I achieved some stuff, but this doesn't really it's not complete. Like it feels like it's missing something. So that's what the journey is all about. It's like about going, it's about going full circle. So you gain everything and then you lose it. And when you lose it, that's when you really learn who you are and what you're made of. And I feel like that's kind of like similar to what you experienced before. So you're at this world energy where you're just cleaning out the last bits of clutter from that old chapter. And you're just tying up those loose ends because you're ready to step into a new journey. You're ready to be that fool's energy of stepping into it. And when I say blindly, it doesn't mean that you're naively. Sometimes when that card comes out, it can be, watch out, maybe pay attention to what you're about to do because it could be a little naivete. It could be a little, not knowing what's coming, but you're getting ready to step into a journey without thinking so much about it that you're going to stop yourself. You know what I mean? It's about stepping into something, taking a leap of faith, if you will. So what you're getting ready to get into now, you're spending more time on on your passions, like what you enjoy doing, what you love to do, as opposed to the work that was practical for you before. You don't even want to do that anymore. And I don't know if you've already left your work that you had before. I don't think you have. I don't get the energy that you have, but I get the energy that you feel. You think about it all the time. Like you want to build your own source of income and get your own career so that you can kind of leave that behind you. And so that's like where you're at now. I pulled the Moonology.
Facts.
Yeah. I pulled a Moonology Oracle card for you to kind of back this reading up, and it says believe in the impossible. Blue moon. So you know your guides and those energetic beings around you, even some ancestors. A lot of us have ancestors around us. We think that they were lost when we lost them, but a lot of times they're around you and they're always rooting for you. They're telling you need to believe in the impossible. You get into your practical mind sometimes. And what you are already designing inside of you, it is more than possible that it can be done. A fiery climax approaches. I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards because it's Aries energy. It's the baby of the zodiac. It's the fool's energy. It talks about blindly stepping into something. And I think that probably by the time that Aries season starts, which for different astrologers you'll hear is different timing, but we'll say April, May. I believe that by April, May, you're going to be starting a new business venture that is your own, and that is something that you've been kind of maybe thinking about a lot as of late. And it's going to allow you the opportunity to be seen, to share your gift with other people where they can see you in different ways that they can see you. And it's also going to allow you the opportunity to help some people that you would like to help along the way. It's time to take action. Aries energy again, confirmation. So this is, your guides are telling you what you've been thinking about. It's time. Go for it. There's nothing to doubt anymore, or there's no other, signs or, confirmation or assistance that you're needing to wait upon. When you take and now I'm done pulling cards. I'm not pulling any more cards, but this is just channeled. When you take the step, because I get this energy from you that you think a lot about the logistics. Are you an air sign, or do you have like air energy in you? Everybody has all the signs in their natal chart, but I think it's prominent in certain
sign. Yeah. Gemini. I think it's air sign.
Gemini. Yep. I felt it. I should have just said it because I already know. Gemini is big air energy, so I get that. I get that from you. Yeah. I get that you were. I get that air energy from you a lot. So what happens is, yeah, you're like a jack of all trades. But what happens is you get in your head a lot. It's a very airy quality, and I get that from you. You get into the logistics of things. You try to make everything make sense, and you want to have it all laid out before you make the step. And it's beautiful because that air energy allows you it allows you the intellect to break things down, to understand how people work, to understand how they function, to understand the idea of many. A lot of people get focused on one thing. You have the mindset of being able to be open to many different things, many different angles, many different ways of seeing things, and many different experiences. But in the same token, you get in your head a lot about the logistics. You're being moved to get a little out of your head. Stay in there a little bit because it's a gift of yours, that energy. But just enough so that you don't have to see all of the steps before you take one. Because once you take the next step or the first step, I don't think it's a first step though. I'm getting you've already kind of behind the scenes started this process to this venture, but it's not something that's out in the open so much yet. So when you take the next step, the following step is going to be given to you. It's going to be shown to you. It's going to be attracted to you, and it's literally going to fall into your lap. And if you can see it that way, then every time you take a step, you're going to see the next step. It's going to be clear. So there's nothing left to wait on, When you take the step, it's all good. That whatever you want to do here, you're gifted. It's going to bring you monetary money. It's going to bring you money, period. It's going to help a lot of people at the same time. And it's going to allow you the opportunity to work and not have to do things that you just really don't enjoy. You just don't like doing. You know, continue to spend time alone when you need to. Excuse me. I'd say make it a habitual thing, right? Hold your vision, be fixed about certain things. Fixed energy can be resistant, it can be stubborn, resistant to change. But in the place that you're at right now, your fixed energy is going to help you to hold on to your vision despite whatever happens around you, whoever says what.
Can you say that again? You said stay what?
Yeah. Fixed. So fixed energy would be like me, like I'm a Leo. Leo is very fixed energy. See, Gemini is very mutable. Gemini goes with the flow. Gemini wants to be here, wants to be there, wants to know a little bit about that, wants to know a little bit, jack of all trades. You have fixed energy in you, though. I know you know, the natal chart talks about us having all the zodiac signs in us in different areas of our lives, different pieces of ourselves. So most of us only know about our sun sign, and so we only know about one piece of ourselves in terms of astrology when we see those, you know, horoscopes and whatnot. But you have fixed energy in you. It just depends on where it shows up and how predominant it is in certain parts of your life. What fixed energy is it's stubborn. It's resistant to change. It needs to know everything. It needs to be convinced. It's like, yeah, I'm not just believing that because you said it. You need to convince me. That's fixed energy. But you're needing to tap more into your fixed energy because you go with the flow all the time. But in this particular instance, in terms of your career and the next move you're going to make in your career, your entrepreneurship, you know, journey you're getting ready to step into, you need to tap into your fixed energy a little bit because your fixed energy will allow you to stay firm in what you decide despite anyone's opinions around you, despite whatever else is happening around you. And I say hold your vision, because this is not going to make sense to everybody. It's like the painter or the pottery maker. I like to throw in the pottery maker all the time when I'm talking about life and our how we build things. You know, the person who's doing the pottery, that takes a while. You know, they're molding. And to us, we're looking at it and it just looks like some floppy clay. We don't know what that looks like. You know what I mean? But you don't ever see them rushing or poking at it. They're just letting it flow through their fingers so that they can give it, you know, direction and mold it, and it's calm, and that's what you're doing right now. You're tweaking. It's like you're putting your fingers in the mold of your life, and you're actually molding it to what you specifically want it to be. But everybody else is not going to see the finished product. Okay, so they're going to be like, that looks floppy as hell. That's where your fixed energy comes into play. You hold your vision because you've already got confirmation. I don't know if you have children or a child. I don't know if you have children. Okay, I get the energy that you take care of other people, like financially, and so you worry as well about whether or not they're going to be provided for or safe. At the bottom of the deck, it says this is Cancer energy, which is the nurturer, the mama of the zodiac. It says you and your loved ones are safe. So this is almost like confirmation that you don't have to stress about that. Like, you're going to be able to provide for your children, and they will be safe. You and your loved ones will be safe. So when those moments arise where people are kind of like, yeah, I don't see the vision, or your thought process goes, okay, is this something I should stick to? Yeah, hold your vision, stick to it. It's very like clearly coming out in the energy here that it's going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Your babies are going to be fine. Everything is going to work out as long as you continue to believe it's so, and take that first step. Because as long as you wait to take that first step, you're not going to find the right moment. The right moment's not going to show up. This is the right moment. Oh shoot! Are you planning a move or something? Or are you wanting to like buy a house? No. I love y'all are cracking me up. I love all the commentary in the background. It's hilarious. I think that you guys know each other,
I'm
fairly well.
Bro. He can't lead little bro. I'm his little bro. He can't lead me. Nah.
I think that you guys know each other fairly well.
Yeah. You better bring your
They know in the background. They know. Yeah, the Four of Wands. This tells me that you're planning either to move or to buy a house or something. Like you want to expand. You want to get something going there solid. Yeah, that's coming.
This nigga ain't got no
That's
money.
coming real
He ain't finna
soon.
buy shit.
4 of Wands. I'd say probably
all
within.
type of money.
You got it.
Yeah, this is coming. 4 of Wands. I'd say that by April, May, you're going to be kicking this off, whatever this venture is. Kicking it off. It's definitely going to provide you a way to move to get a home that you are seeking. It's gonna be a lot of celebratory energy too, you and your family.
I gotta get it for this. I gotta get a fucking webcam so I can set it up there to see all of us. My brother that was speaking, he's shaking his head no.
Was Monique doing on Precious? He came in. Not
all right, so that was good. I don't know if you have more for me, but I want to save some time for everybody else.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's what I have for you.
Okay.
So thank you for letting me tap into your energy. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure.
Big energy.
That was good. That was good.
How it feel?
I'm gonna have to do this again. And this thing convinced me to do the fucking the hypnosis shit. Look, I'm definitely finna do that.
Is tarot reading some type of thing that people do frequently, like all the time? Like it's some like I want to get a tarot reading every week.
You can do that.
I mean, I'm asking. I'm asking. Do people when they come to you like, oh, I want to get it done all the time?
You're asking me if you can or if you should.
No. I'm asking like in your experience since doing this, do people do that? Like, they'll get.
Oh yeah. It's like so tarot is kind of like therapy almost. You know what I mean? Except I like to, which is why I venture into different, I do different things. Tarot isn't the only thing I do, because tarot is only one part of it. So you got therapy. You're going to have the therapists that you go to that are going to take the little, notes and say, okay.
Right.
So how do you feel about that?
Right.
All right. Okay. How do you feel about that? Then you got the ones that are going to say, well, okay, this is what I'm diagnosing you as, and you should take this drug. And then you got the ones that are going to say, okay, let's go back to where this started in your life. When did you first start feeling like that? When can you remember? Okay, when did it start? Okay, who did it? Your mama? Okay, your papa? Okay, you were little? Okay, let's go there. Okay, because that's where the healing gets done. When you can work on that and you can forgive that, then you can heal that, and then you can understand why everything else in your life plays out the way it does. And then now you understand yourself better, and now you understand your new approach to life, and you don't really have to come back to me anymore. So I love you. It's been great. But next time you hit me up, you're just going to be telling me like, hey, Renee, look at all this stuff I did. So that's kind of how tarot works. I get my people that are in every live of mine or every other live of mine asking for readings every single week, or every other day. And some of them ask me the same question over and over. Some of them ask me different questions.
Every other day.
Some of them get a reading from me. Or maybe 2 or something like that. And then they don't get another one. And then I hear from them a few months later and they're like, Renee, remember that reading you did for me then that one day? And I'm like, kinda, but I do like tons of readings, so I kind of don't remember. And they're like, well, what you said happened. Or they're like, look at this business I started. Or they're like, look at this relationship I'm in. And, and so it just depends on the reception. It just depends on how open you are to what you're hearing and what you do with it when you walk away from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could get a tarot reading every week. Right. You know what I mean? Or you could get a couple of good ones and, you're like, this is everything I needed to hear. And let me take this insight and, and put it into my life. And now that's it. Then you'll be hitting your tarot reader up in a few months saying, hey, that stuff you told me, bam, this is what's happening.
Right. And that makes perfect sense. I really mainly asked that because based on this is the first time I've heard it done. So based on what I've heard you say to my man, I feel like a tarot reading is something like when you get it, you should apply it or at least try. So it's like I'm not speaking on anybody else, just me personally. Like if you were to give me this tarot reading, I just feel like me personally, it's impossible for me to be like next week, be like, you know what, Renee, I need another one. already.
I said every other day. That's why I said it was.
You know what I mean? Like
I feel like that's excessive.
Like everything that you told.
It is. And well, this is the thing. One, our energy is always in motion.
Yeah.
Stagnant energy just manifests itself differently than energy that you let be in motion. That's why we have, like, I always give this scenario, and this is actually when I talk about shadow work, but I won't go in, deep into that unless you guys want me to. But I talk about when you say there's something you love to do, but you don't do it, right? Like, I don't know, say you love to sing. Like, you love to sing, right? But when you were a kid, you were just like running around the house with a brush and you were singing at the top of your lungs. And then, mommy was like, yo, shut that shit up. Like, it's trash. Like, you're garbage at that. Stop doing that. Be quiet. Right. And this is like every time you try to do it. And so now you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to do this no more. You know what I mean? Right. So now you're hanging. And this is part of shadow work. And this is like really what I do, because my goal is not for you to keep coming to me for a reading every other week. My goal is for you to, get something out of it and then come back and just update me on the great, amazing things you're doing with your life and how happy you are. And this that's different for everybody, because it's all in, what the success means to you. Success is different to everybody. But this is how I talk about shadow work. And this is where the healing really comes in. Say you're going to karaoke, with your friends, and they're, you're like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. You're like, no, I don't know. You don't sing in front of people. Yeah. And now your friend gets up there and your friend's like singing their heart away and woo. And you're like, something in you is like, look at this, look at them, think they all that, think they could do, come on, like, is that little hater energy, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And what happens is when we are suppressing, it's suppression of energy. When we are suppressing something that is a part of us, that is a piece of us, that is who we are, the energy never actually stops. It doesn't die. It doesn't go away. Energy keeps going. It's endless. But what happens is we shove it into this little spot in our body, and it's just festering and festering and festering and festering, and it comes out, but it comes out as like anger. You know what I mean? So that's like when buttons get pushed and you just like punch somebody in the face one day, or like that's like a situation like that. And it's like, yo, you think you all that because you got up there and sang that song. You didn't even sound good. Blah blah blah. We got to put the next person down, right? But when you take that feeling and you go back home with it and you say, well, what is it about? I like to throw names in there, but let's say my friend Judy got up there and sang, and I'm like, what is it about Judy that she was singing at the top of her lungs at the karaoke that irritated me? Like, why do I feel that way? Why does that even bother me? And then I go back and I dig in there and I dig into my emotions and I dig into my life, and I go back and I find that, you know what, I used to do this. I used to slide through the house with my brush, singing at the top of my lungs, and I was always told that I sucked and I couldn't do that. And so now I can't do it, but I want to so bad. But Judy didn't care. She just got up there and she just did it. And so now you've evaluated, right? Next week, y'all go, it's karaoke night again. Come on, let's go. And, Judy's like, come on, you back again. You got to go up there. You got to do it. So now you like, all right, I thought about this. I get it. I know why I was mad at Judy last week, because Judy was up there busting it. So let me take my little whiskey back. Let me take my shot, and I'm gonna get up there. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sing this song. This is my favorite song. I'm gonna sing it. And then you get up there and you do it, and you mad nervous, little heart's beating fast. You looking around, people looking at you, but you feel exhilarated. You know what I mean? It's like you broke through something, and then after that, it's like that's that healing process. That's that process of understanding yourself. And of course, it goes way deeper than that. But this is just an example. It's that part of, and that's what tarot is for me. It's almost like prayer. And it's funny because I was on a podcast probably like, I don't know how long ago, sometime last year. And the woman just saying, and she asked me this question. She said, explain to me in a nutshell, what you feel tarot is. And I told her, tarot to me is just like prayer. We get on our knees and we pray, and then we wait for a sign and an answer to come. And 9 times out of 10, unless you got that faith of a mustard seed, you got that strong, serious faith, you don't get your answer. You're just always waiting for it. Tarot is just something tangible that you can look at. You know what I mean? It's something that's falling in front of you and it's giving you some insight. Okay, well, this makes sense. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, you know what? You're right. I've been ignoring that. And, you know, okay. It's that kind of thing. And so it's
be like, you know, I feel this for you. I've been in church before, and the pastor be praying for somebody and be like, I feel this for you. This is what you need to do. Blah, blah, blah. It's the same. So it is the same thing.
Keywords God's telling me.
And, you know, and prayer is great. You know what I mean? I just think that there's different forms of it because it's just like you said, sometimes you're in front of that pastor and the pastor is giving you insight. You know what I mean? You're telling them, let me get on the prayer list. You know what I mean? This is what I'm praying for. And so now you're getting that, first of all, you're getting that energy. You know what I mean? You got somebody else's energy now in cahoots with yours on the same topic, right? So when you tell me, Renee, I need a reading and this is what I want to know about, now we in cahoots together. We on it. We like, all right, let's figure this out. Us, your guides, your spirit guides, the spirit, you know, your ancestors, the spirits that are around you. We all, probably everybody else in the room, we all on it. Everybody's energy's on it. So it's offering you insight. It's like, you know, you're hearing you're hearing that answer to your prayer, and it's tangible. It's something you can physically take. You don't have to just try to figure it out on your own. It's always being given to you. And it's the same thing like prayer. We just don't always know what we're looking for, because when you're praying, you get your answers. God is always answering. The universe is always answering. But what happens is it happens through everything around you. It's through people. It's through something you saw on the billboard. It's through something you saw on your timeline. It's through something that somebody called you and randomly was like, hey, I got this opportunity for you. I heard you was doing this, that, and the third. And those are like the ways our prayers get answered, but we're not always open to looking for them, you know what I mean, or to being open to seeing them. And so, or maybe sometimes we're looking for something all miraculous. And even in the spiritual world or tarot, you know, I think sometimes we think that, you know, there's going to be that big grand voice that comes down and says, hey, this is the message I have for you today. And sometimes it's in your intuition. It's in your gut. It's in, you know, maybe someone just being able to feel your energy and be able to say, hey, well, I feel like these are the things that I can feel that you might have been thinking about lately and going through. And, you know, my energy is feeling that, you know, you're ready to take that step. Maybe you needed that confirmation. Maybe you needed, you know, to hear that. And so that's kind of how it plays out. But you know, once you do that, once you break into something that you've been hesitant or fearful of doing, you're able to do that for other people now, you know, just like that karaoke thing. Now, the next week when you guys go back and you take your other friend with you to karaoke, you're like, I ain't trying to hear it, because if I went up there, you could do it too. So now you're uplifting someone rather than being upset because someone's doing something that you struggle with. And that's really what, you know, the work that I do. I know all tarot readers are different. Everybody has their own way of you know, doing something or being in their lane. And that's what it's all about, bringing your own authenticity to the table. But in what I do, I don't necessarily, yes, I do have people, and I know you said it feels obsessive. It is. There are times when you get into the energy of certain things in your life, and because of the perspective or the scope that you're looking at it in, it becomes an obsession. You know what I mean? And you kind of go through this mental loop. And those are the times when you're going to get the same, you know, people asking for the same readings over and over again. And we all go through that in some point in time or another in our lives, where we're like constantly circling this one thing. You know, a lot of us go through that with relationships. You know, we like know something isn't working, but we're trying to force it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. And so we end up in that kind of like obsessing over type of energy. And so it does happen. But I think that with enough, it's all about your intention. It's all about how open you are. You know what I mean? Because if you're open to something, you're going to get the fullness from it. Whether you agree with it or not, you're receiving it. And then you're going in and you're having a seat and you're thinking about it and you're deciding whether or not that works for you.
100.
So what y'all think, man? How y'all feel about that?
I'm feeling that. I'm listening.
Yeah. What y'all think about the reading she did?
It was cool.
He's preaching.
You already know. I mean, it was cool. Drink another beer. You know what I mean?
Clank beers.
Do you want to do one? Or
I'm scared.
Scared?
Nick goes.
I'll go. That's cool. Let's go, Renee.
We'll do Nick, and then we'll leave it at that. Did you want to do one?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. We'll do Nick and
Yeah. What you mean? You stop at that? What you?
Oh, I didn't know. Because you just said we're gonna do Nick next. Like you don't want to do it. Like,
Nah,
we're
man.
gonna do Nick next.
You gonna say the best for last?
Oh, okay. My bad. Damn. My bad. Okay.
You already know me.
My bad, King.
I've
Go
been
ahead. All right, we're gonna do Nick's next. Do you want to?
Nick's reading.
Yeah. Do you want to see?
Nicholas F.
Do you need to see him, or do you want to see, or?
Yeah,
I don't need to see him, but if he wants to see me and the cards, it's all up to him.
that's cool. She don't need to see me, then it's fine.
Come and see you.
You don't want to see the cards?
I'm gonna come see you, Otis. Yeah, she gonna show the cards.
I would at least
Or
see
you
the
know,
cards.
this is remember too. Tarot's an energy exchange, so you're receiving as much energy from me as I'm receiving from you. So, you know, you want to experience it how you want to experience it. It's all up to you. You know, you have your preferences.
Because she does a good.
So if you want to be in front of me, that's cool.
Good
you
job
know?
of breaking it down.
But
Yeah.
if you don't,
Yeah,
if you don't, that's cool too.
Yeah, it's because I was just gonna explain to him. You do like when you reading the tarot and you pulling up the cards, you explaining what the card is. So I mean, I can visualize what the card is. You know what I mean?
I guess it's gonna be the whole episode then. I wasn't expecting this to be the whole episode.
Why not?
With it.
Yeah, it should be.
I don't know. I just didn't expect it to be
It should be.
as long as it was.
Yeah, it should be.
Very in-depth.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know I didn't came on your podcast and took over the whole.
No, it's fine. No, this is
This is your show.
this is what it's about. When we have people on, it's about them.
Yep.
We
We just
put
listening.
people on,
Yeah,
it's your show.
We just own we on a stretch Rolls
Yeah,
Royce.
this has been really
we
fun.
a
I'm enjoying
vessel.
it.
That's it.
We a vessel.
That's
Yep.
what they say in church, right? We a vessel.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's so funny.
I'm the rudder
I would
in the
say the
back,
same
so we
thing.
straight. Snack strong.
All right,
so
Nick, let's talk about it.
So he fixing shit. No, go ahead.
I'm gonna love this. I feel like this gonna be a good one. I feel like I'm gonna enjoy this.
You're gonna enjoy me, huh?
Wow.
Let me ask you some. Have you ever
Yeah.
had a reading with somebody and like it was all like bad news?
It was all what?
It said
was all,
bad
like,
news.
bad.
Like everything about the reading was just bad.
Yes, I have.
How did they
Yes,
take
I have.
it? Like how did that go?
So, one thing about doing what I do is you've got to be. So again, it's all energy. This is all energy work. So it's like me and my guides have an understanding. Like when I have a tight relationship with my guides, and I have one guide in particular that messes with my cards. My other guys don't give a shit about my cards. They're like, whatever, that's your problem. They deal with me in other areas of my life.
You're who?
But one in particular does, and
You're who?
you know, what I always ask for, and every
We
reader
said
is
our
different with
guys.
how they pull cards, spreads that they use, and all of that. But when I'm pulling for you, what I always ask for is, regardless of the reading or the message, I'm giving you something that you needed to hear. So even if everything is all negative, or something that you didn't want, I don't know. I find a way to pull something out of it that's going to be positive. You know what I mean? I'm straight up. I'm an honest, person. So I'm always going to give you what I see. You know what I mean? And
Word.
sometimes that's not what you want to hear, but I'm
I think that was my fear about
I'm
it.
also
That's why I
always going to
said-
give you.
That's why I asked.
What was that?
That was my fear. I was like, am I just gonna get all bad news?
I know it.
Like, dude,
I
your
think
life
that's
is fucked
anyone's
up.
fear.
It's never gonna be like that.
I'll be honest with you. I think that the anything publicized kind of dampens the view of it. I will say that. You know what I mean? Just like with anything you see on TV, the news, politics, everything. I think that with tarot, it's the same way. There are so many readers out there doing, and I respect all people's crafts, but a lot of, doing the more publicized thing. You know what I mean? I'd say I get the most friction when it comes to like twin flame readings and love readings and stuff like that, because everybody wants to know about their love life all the time. And A lot of readers, that's their focus. They do the love readings, and they'll kind of put out the rhetoric of twin flames being such a romanticized thing. See, I'm that reader you're going to get the truth from, and I won't say that there is a truth in all things, because I believe that there is truth in all things. I just also believe that you need a full picture. So yes, while your twin flame connection can be a very beautiful and romantic experience, it's really not for that purpose. And so that's what I'm going to give to you. This soul isn't put into your life for you to have a romantic relationship with. Is that something that's a possibility? Yes. Can it work? Yes. Is it always going to? No. Is it even the reason for it? No. The soul is put into your life, and everybody doesn't have a twin flame, so that's another thing. But I'll just finish this point, and then we'll hop into this reading. But this is just an example about how I work in terms of, as opposed to like how everyone in the community works, because that's something where this soul isn't put. Your twin flame is, first of all, everybody's not a twin flame, and so everybody thinks they have a twin flame. So people are running through life trying to search for one. You know what I mean? Every person they date, they're like trying to fit it to the narrative. You know what I mean?
What did you call it? A twin
flame?
A twin flame, yeah. It's very big and prevalent in the tarot community or in the spiritual community. But it's very depicted as something that it's not necessarily, if that makes sense. And that's the only reason why I brought that up, because it's like, when I say things are publicized a certain way, I think that's where that fear comes from. It's like when people are afraid of getting a reading. And I always tell people, just take a deep breath and just, relax. We hanging out. That's how I feel. We hanging out. And also, I'm a very ancient soul. So when people come my way, they're pretty much ancient souls. So we probably have met before this life anyway. And this just not our first rodeo. So just take a breath. We're going to be all right. But I think that it's so, there's such a stigma about it because of all that's put out there, like to be seen about it. And that's one of those things, like with twin flames. The readers are always talking about twin flames and their twin flame. Some readers, their whole entire business is revolved around twin flame readings. And every week they're, doing a reading about the divine feminine and where the divine feminine is at right now, and the divine masculine and where the divine masculine is at right now, and where you guys are at in your relationship and when things are going to unfold. And this is the rocky part, and stick it out and stick it through. And where the struggle with that for me is, like when I got into, doing a channel and starting a YouTube and all that stuff, the struggle with that for me is that we're not all in the same places in our journey. This doesn't even mean the same thing for everybody. So this just don't work. This just has people who don't have a twin flame waiting around for one, or people who do have a twin flame thinking that they got to deal with, BS because this is their twin flame and, they got to stick it out and it's going to be this beautiful, miraculous thing at the end. And that's all rhetoric. It's not. The twin flame is there to teach you about yourself and show you how to love yourself. And, they're going to literally trigger all your buttons. They're going to trigger all of your buttons. That is what that soul is the purpose in your life is for. And then some people don't have a twin flame, and that's beautiful. And I think that people kind of like glorify certain aspects of things, and they want that because it's glorified, but really you don't want that. That experience is very complicated and very difficult, and it takes a lot. It goes, you go through a lot of self-discovery, which you got to go into the dark parts really to discover yourself in full, so I think that that's kind of where for me it's just a little bit different. I stay away from some topics, and I only get into them when they're asked about, and then I just give it the 101.
Word.
Okay, so let's get into my.
All right, let's talk about it.
My God
Nick,
makes reading.
I
want y'all to see this nigga in this jean suit.
I'm getting more of a romantic feel from this reading.
Oh shit!
It got juice now. It got juice. It got juice. Pull up. It got juice.
I knew it was gonna be good.
Certified level boy. I like this already.
Certified level boy.
My boy on the love boat.
CLB. Go ahead. Tell me about my romantic
So
self.
I feel like, there's the 3 of Wands here and the 3 of Cups. I feel like there's someone, I don't necessarily get the energy of a new person coming into your life, I don't really even get the energy of you being currently with this person. If you are, it seems maybe it's an on and off thing, or there was a break or something of that nature. I'm getting the Queen of Cups energy here, so I don't know if this is like a feminine energy, a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or someone who just embodies that almost like very. There's like a draw, like a pull. It's a very energetic kind of person. Like this person almost makes you maybe even like knows what you're thinking sometimes. That kind of energy. The Three of Cups here talks to me about union, which is like, just getting into the relationship. But I have the devil here, the devil card here in the blockage. And so what this talks about is like that obsession we were just talking about. And it can be obsession or even just like codependency. You know what I mean? Like codependency can be thinking about someone so much that they're just like, they're like invading your headspace all the time. Or even just that need, like needing so much from a person, needing so much from, wondering why they haven't called you or where, when they're going to text you or when they're going to answer it back or something of that nature. I don't necessarily know if this is your energy. This could be this person's energy coming through. And that happens a lot when someone is in your energy field and it's because the reading comes out. A lot of times it's this person's energy and they're just coming all the way through in your reading. The Page of Cups is here coming up next. So this is like almost like apology energy. So I don't know if there's someone that you maybe had a little bit of a difference with, a little disagreement with. But I feel like there's a lot of like chemistry there, a lot of like physical chemistry, physical pull, energetic pull. It's almost like a lot of being drawn to each other. Oh, it's work. I'm thinking I pulled the backup card. I'm thinking this is like codependent energy, but it's not. It's work. Work is in the way. Eight of Pentacles is here. This could be work or even just working on themselves. I don't think this is your energy. So maybe you're trying to connect with a person. You want more from this relationship. But it feels like it hasn't gotten to that point yet. It hasn't grown. You two are kind of like on different pages. I feel the union here. I feel the celebration. I feel the intimacy. I feel the chemistry. But I see this person going through a bit of a tower moment. Almost like this person's trying to figure themselves out. They could be either working too much and that gets in the way of connecting, or they're just working a lot on themselves and they're trying to figure out, who they are and where they're at and what they're dealing with in life and where, what's going on. I feel like this person is extremely gifted, like very intuitive, like almost like I was saying before, you could be that kind of person that just reads people well. You can pick up on people's energy well. This person gives me that energy. Like they are just extremely intuitive. I feel like they can even pick up your energy very heavily. I don't know if you've apologized to this person about something or if they've apologized to you, or maybe you apologized to them. Maybe there was a miscommunication or a misunderstanding. But it doesn't feel like any malicious or anything that happened that was bad. It just feels like, you want this to build, but this person has a lot of other things going on. That's what it feels like more than anything. I feel a decision happening in this connection soon, though. I don't feel like it's far away. I feel like there will be a decision made. It just feels a little rocky. And I feel like maybe you're not sure if that's a done deal or if it's going to become something more or become what you want it to be. Mm-hmm. The Star is here. There's a lot of Aquarius energy. I get that this person is very, almost like kind of like me, does this, does the kind of work that's a little offbeat, you know what I mean? Like a little out of the box. So maybe they're struggling with learning more about themselves right now and being able to figure that out. I think that that's intriguing to you, though. I get that you are somewhat intrigued by whatever makes them different.
Reading about somebody else.
No, exactly. Go ahead, keep going.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. But it's interesting. As I was saying, that was just just weird. I wasn't This a whole new twist. Some shit I ain't even think about.
But she's just saying sometimes that happens when other people's energy come through the person she's talking to.
Yeah, this definitely occurs often. Yeah. So I feel like, you know, are you hard on yourself? I feel like you maybe think about whether, I get this energy like you're always hard on yourself a lot. Like you're always telling yourself, you know, you could have done this better. Maybe next time you could do it this the way, you know, maybe you should be doing more. Maybe you should be doing this. Like I get this energy of you being really hard on yourself. And so, you know,
I'm sorry.
It's like, no, you don't. One thing I say on my channel when I'm on my lives is, we don't do sorries on my channel. We're not sorry people. We won't do no sorries.
Sorry.
So, we don't do none of that. I feel like apology. Yeah, that's such a societal thing. We get to this point where we're always apologizing about shit and it's unnecessary. If you've done something to hurt somebody and you understand it and it was deliberate and you firmly feel bad about it.
She was talking and I'm talking. I don't.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
It's the podcast thing though too, because like early on, I was doing this and I had people telling me like, "Oh, you don't let other people talk. You kind of jump in and let." So that's where that's coming from.
Well, one, I was, that's what I mean. You know, we're taught to kind of always be saying sorry and excusing ourselves. And I just, I don't believe in that. So don't do sorries. You're here to shine. You don't got to adjust yourself for me. And I was raised by a Puerto Rican woman. And so she had like 5 conversations with me at one time and I just had to keep up. And then in the middle of one piece of the conversation, go back to the other piece. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we're going back to the other conversation now. Okay. And you just got to keep up and that's it, So I'm cool. I'm cool with all of that. Like it's conversational and it's comfortable and it's great. It works for me. But what I feel is that, I feel you're kind of energetically matched. Like maybe you are and this person are in the same place when it comes to figuring yourselves out a bit. I don't necessarily think this is career-wise. I don't think this is career-wise, but I think this is just internally. Like, you might be going through this period of figuring out who you are, what your gifts are, like what you're good at, what you really, want to do with yourself. And I feel like this person's in the same energy of figuring those things out as well. And so even though it seems almost like maybe it's not working out, but you get hard on yourself a lot about what you could do or what, it's like woulda, coulda, shoulda energy I get from you. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. And, that's got to lift. You're good. You're good. Start speaking more, be your own hype man. Let's start speaking, a lot of lifting up to yourself.
This nigga's definitely his own hype man.
Flavor.
Yeah. Well, when I say that, I mean, as far as the pressure that you put on yourself, you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Because I get that you put a lot of pressure on yourself for things. You know what I mean?
When he's alone by himself type shit. When he with us, he definitely is on hype man.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's a comfort zone level. You know what I mean? It's a very big comfort. Like you guys feel like y'all have a great comfort level with each other. You know what I mean? So I feel like with this person, it's not like that. That's what I'm getting from this reading. It's different. Like that comfort level that you have here in this setting is a little different when dealing with this particular individual. So it comes out as being more like, watching what you're saying or watching what you're, how you're coming across or like, or just feeling like maybe there's something you can do differently. I feel like there's maybe a little rockiness happening right now in this particular connection. And again, I love feedback when I'm done, so correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm getting this, it just feels like there's this person that you're in this like thing with, but it's not a thing. It's like a thing, but not. And it feels a little rocky, and it feels like you're questioning whether or not it'll grow. And I feel like it will. I just feel like your person is figuring out some personal internal things right now. And so it may feel like a gap, but it's not. I don't think it has anything to do with you at all. So, keep doing you. Like, with whatever you're doing is great. I feel like you're this person who's, again, the star energy came out again for your reading. So it's like similar energy as before. You put yourself out there a little bit when it comes to, your social media presence or the work that you're doing. You like to, I couldn't hear you if you were saying something to me.
No, I wasn't.
No.
But okay. Yeah, it's like you like to you put your fingers in stuff. Like, you want to be able to do things for other people. You want to be able to you utilize like your social media presence is what I'm getting, to understand yourself better, to understand other people better, to share thoughts and ideas, to grow. But I get this pressure that you put on yourself, and it is very internal. It's like you do it on your own. And I feel like there's this I don't know if you felt like you needed to apologize. I don't know what, there was some kind of difference is what it felt like. And it felt like you needed to apologize to this person, or you felt that way. Like, maybe they made you feel like you offended them in some way. I feel like there's going to be some resolve coming soon. And even a decision, like a firm decision, a more firm decision about the direction of the connection and where it's headed. I think there are some things behind the scenes that you just don't know about, and this person is dealing with, not having anything to do with you. More personal things, more just figuring out themselves. It doesn't even feel like it's career related or anything. It just feels like it's internal, like self-development, self-growth. This person is going through a lot of drastic changes. This is that tarot card I was talking to you guys about before. This person is going through a lot of drastic changes. And then, the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, you like it. So I really want to hear your feedback about this one, because I feel like this is somebody that you see yourself doing things with. Like, you see yourself actually.
Go ahead.
The Queen of Pentacles is here, and this is like wife energy.
That boy had a smile on his face, boy.
Yes, this is wife energy. The Queen of Pentacles here. I like this card. So I feel like you feel like there's a future there. You know what I mean? A more solid future.
There's that. You said what?
It feels like you see a future. Like, the Queen of Pentacles is the next card I pulled off of the deck, and this is big wife energy. She's like, she's grand. I love her. This is wife energy. So I feel like you see a future with this person. You know what I mean? Like, you see there potentially at some point being a future with this person, but you might overthink this a lot. And maybe you two aren't on the exact same page right now, because there's a lot of growth happening between the two of you. But I feel like you're a little bit ahead of that in terms of that self-discovery than this person is. It feels like you have already kind of figured out your way. You know what I mean? Like, more, yourself a little better. You kind of know the direction you're going in. You kind of just know, like, you kind of went through that process already, and you just found your footing a bit. But I feel like this person is going through that now. And so that's really the only disconnect between the two of you. It's not necessarily, because I see this Page of Cups here, and I see they're wanting to be like, almost like it feels like an apology, but not like there's anything necessarily to apologize for, but just maybe there was like an misunderstanding or miscommunication of some sort, and it's like, I just want to come to like a common ground, and that's kind of what I'm feeling from you. Like, I want to come to a common ground and just kind of see where things are going and I feel the pull, I feel the attraction. Is it going to go somewhere or not? And I feel like this person's distracted with their life and the things that they're finding their footing, figuring themselves out. But I don't feel like there isn't a future energy here. Like, it feels the Lover's card and the Chariot. This is big decision. The Lover's card talks about decisions, and the Chariot card talks about victory. You know what I mean? But it doesn't. It's not an easy road, if that makes sense. The Chariot card always talks about there being bumps, but this being something that's going to become victorious. You know what I mean? So I see, and then the Queen of Pentacles come out next. I love this. I like that. I think that whoever you're dealing with or thinking about right now, you can like lay back and breathe a little bit. They're just going through this thing you kind of already went through, where you had to figure yourself out, find your footing in life, and figure out who you are and where you're headed, without the attachments of like family and things of that nature. And I think that person's going through that right now. They're going through big tower energy, a lot of drastic changes in their life. So there's nothing that's about you. If they're being distant with you, it don't got nothing to do with you. It's their own stuff. They just may not know how to completely tell you that in full. And I do see probably within the next, I would say the next couple of months, 6 weeks, you two finally being able to like come to some sort of common ground, at least knowing where you're at. You know what I mean? Where you're at on the journey, being on the same page. Let me pull you in Moonology too. I'll pull some oracles.
Moonology
for you.
Top.
Oh shit! I didn't get that. I'm a little jealous.
shit.
This is the same amount of cards I pulled for you.
Right, he ain't special.
Don't let your past hold you back. Okay. The energy is gaining momentum. Okay, so I think that and takes time to breathe out. Yeah, you just running. You running. Are you a fire sign by any chance?
No, you had already had my sign down.
Aquarius?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Oh yeah, but Aquarius is big.
But
you probably have fire moon or
see. Look, I didn't mean to cut you off, but had he told me, I would have been prepared. Like I'm not super in. Like I know I got a moon and a. What's the other one?
Yeah, astrology, rising.
No.
It's actually a whole entire chart.
You're right. Like I know there's other shit besides Aquarius, and I forgot. But like, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, no, the Aquarius energy makes sense, and it's so funny because the Aquarius, the star is Aquarius, and the strength card is Leo. So this is like polar opposite energy.
I think it
Leo
is.
and Aquarius.
I think my rising or my moon sign is Leo. I think it is.
Leo. Yes. Look at this. So that's what I was getting ready to say. Either your moon or rising sign is fire. Because this is like your two sides, like your two sides battle. I'm listening if you're saying something.
No, I didn't say nothing. Go ahead.
No, that was me. I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I got that Aquarius energy that came out, but what backs it up is the Leo energy. And so I felt it. I actually feel really hot right now. It's like your air quality, you get in your head and you're like all up in there all the time. You're in your head all the time. But then there's that fire in you, and that fire wants to go. It's ahead of the game. You want to go for things. You like 2-3 steps ahead. That's what I feel like. You 2-3 steps ahead. These cards say take time to breathe out. And I'm reading them backwards to how I pull them because I think that's how they make sense to me. The energy is gaining momentum. Waxing moon. So I feel like, and this last card says, don't let your past hold you back. If there were situations in the past romantically that things happened that were not fitting for you, don't be so quick to assume that the same thing is happening now. Because this is a different type of person. It's just that everything is not clear to you because you don't know exactly what's going on with this person behind the scenes. And they'll talk to you about it when they're ready. But I think that your head sometimes takes you back to things that happened in the past. And so you go through this process of thinking a lot about it. But then you have this fire in you that's ready to take the next step, 2-3 steps ahead. And this person might not be on the same like speed level as you are. So the energy is gaining momentum though. And when you feel like that little bit of anxiousness in terms of this, make sure you breathe it out. Take the time to breathe it out. And not just with this particular situation, but with anything. Because I feel like your air and your fire are always like revving each other up. Your air, those two parts of yourself, you know what I mean?
They counteract like that. It's so crazy.
What was that?
I said they counteract like that. It's so crazy. It's two things existing in my body. It's fire and it's ice.
Opposite energy.
Yeah.
So you want to balance them out. Take the time to breathe out is I don't know if you ever meditate or you thought about meditating, but that would be a great way. And there's all types of ways to meditate. It doesn't have to look the same way as what you picture, you know what I mean? The Indian sit. And I talk about this all the time because I think that people have a hard time meditating because of that. It has to look a certain way.
I'm going to be fresh when I do it, so that's cool. I meditate, though.
Yeah. Take time to breathe out. It's whatever calms you, and not just calms your body, but calms your thoughts. So like for me, when I started to meditate, I dance, I do music. I'm not for other people. I'm not a dancer, but that's how I started to meditate before I could, just sit down and like calm myself on my own, because my head was all over the place. And so I would blast the music, whether it was in my ear or just on the speaker, and just have a dance party, just dance until I was sweaty and like literally not a single thought was going into my head. And when that happens, you're in a meditative state. Like when you have no thoughts coming into your head, that's when you're in a meditative state. So you, I think, spend a lot of time in your head. So you're thinking a lot. But you have this other side of you, this strength card. This is like, that Leo side of you, or that fire side of you is like, it's passion. It's like, we want this, we love this, let's do this. It's like wearing your heart on your sleeve. And then your head is, your Aquarius side is like, okay, does this make sense? Is this practical? Relax. Like, it's like they're counteracting, but they're actually two sides of the same coin, and they work well together when they're balanced. Let your heart allow your passions to lead you, but let your head smooth out the edges, the rough edges, if that makes sense. Let them work together. Don't fight with yourself, because they will work really well together. Are you into music?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you like make music or DJ or anything like that?
No, I don't.
I feel like you're a super big musical person, or you might just be one of those people that can tell you like the year an album came out and what track that song is, and if there's a song that like is like how do you call that, sampled from
Oh
it?
yeah. Oh, for sure. Because I didn't send my friends samples. Like, no, I'm a huge music fan. I wish I did music. I'd be a producer.
You send me that, though.
No, you, nigga. Remember I sent you that Dom Kennedy? That's that Aaliyah sample. Yeah, you remember. Go ahead, Renee. They be hating. Live on air. It be your own people. It be your own people.
I'm tuned in.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm enjoying
What'd you
myself.
say?
I said it be your own people, but anyway, hating on you. But anyway, go ahead.
Music, I will give you that. You definitely, you be on point with when shit came out. You definitely, that's you.
But now you're not.
Yeah, it's just you give me that connoisseur energy. You know what I mean? Like you're a connoisseur of that type of thing. Like it's something that you're really into. That would be a calm for you too. Music would be a really great way to calm. And also, I think you could communicate with this person through music. Like this person has like a strong, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that. It's like when you send music to somebody because the song says what you can't say. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I have for you.
Okay.
So your thoughts? Let's get your thoughts. Hold on.
First,
Let's get your thoughts.
like I wasn't going into it like I like when people be honest with me. I value that more than anything at this point in my life. Just tell me the truth. So I wasn't going into it like, damn, I hope she doesn't say all bad shit, because if it's all bad shit, it's all bad shit. Like I don't take shit. Like I don't take anything, like to heart. Even when it's no matter what.
Take it for what it is.
I take it for what it is, for real. So like I wasn't expecting, I was expecting you to honestly, hopefully tell me the truth. And it's crazy how you can read energy. That's why I believed in your ability to be able to like just listening to me and feeling my energy through my voice, because I feel like I can feel people energy when I come in the room. So like I feel like nobody can ever tell me something that doesn't match their energy. Ever.
Yeah.
Especially after just being through the stuff that I've been through. Like, you're not going to tell me nothing that don't match what your energy is doing.
Feels like, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I feel like you have a big knack for that. Like you are the kind of person that can read people really well. It's almost like you have this super witty thing about you where you can relate to anybody, probably joke, laugh, you know what I mean, talk to anybody. But at the same time, you're so personable, and people can like really people will consider you a friend. I feel like you're always observing. Like you're always observing at all times.
100%.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because
I get the energy that your person is similar to you a lot. This person is similar to you a lot too, like very super intuitive, almost to the point where you just kind of know, like you probably can, if you're close to a person, you probably can tell if they're not feeling well or if there's something really like on their mind or something bothering them without them really having to say anything to you.
I've absolutely. I feel like I'm a psycho because of that. But no. Yeah, I feel like it's crazy that you were, again, how you were saying you were reading, because a lot of what you were saying, it like obviously it dealt with me because it's someone else's energy coming through me, but not all of it was even about me.
Yeah.
Did you relate to it?
So what happens is. Yeah, no, I want to hear what you're saying.
No, yeah, I definitely related to it. Even like, but it don't make sense though. Like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, the things.
Well, it's not your energy. So
line up, but it doesn't make sense what you're saying. That's why I wish I could talk to you and look at you.
I tried to. I said it. If you want,
but like video, that's not the same to me. I need the energies
in person.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna personable. Do you heard what she said? I'm personable.
We're gonna find somebody here and we're gonna do this shit, like, cause
do you understand what I'm saying? Has anyone ever said that to you? That they don't? I don't understand it though. I don't understand what it even means.
Understand what?
What you're saying, because like I'm not saying none of what you're saying is wrong at all, because none of it is not wrong. I didn't really hear anything that you said was wrong until you were gonna say my sign was different when you had already, nailed what my sign was. But there wasn't nothing that you said was wrong. But like I said, almost 80% of it wasn't about me. So what does that mean?
Yeah, it's just what's coming through on your energy. It's like when you're thinking about somebody a lot, or when someone's thinking about you a lot, it's like that, almost like that telepathy type of thing I was talking about earlier. We're always communicating energetically, even if we're not speaking about it. Or even like you said, when you're talking to somebody and what they're saying is not matching what the energy that you're picking up off of them. It's sometimes when it comes to like romantic type of connections, a person could not be telling you something, but they're always thinking about you. And when they're always thinking about you, they're in your energy field, which someone like you, as intuitive as you, can likely feel that. You may not always recognize it, but you can probably feel it all the time. But those things come through. It's all energetic. It's all energy. So those things come through. They come through when especially when a person wants to tell you something. And sometimes what comes through is like in the last reading, it's just all about something else, about career. It's about something you're going through, something you're experiencing. But sometimes somebody wants to say some shit to you and they can't, you know what I mean? Or they haven't. And so that energy will come through strong, almost like through you, if that makes sense. It's all energy exchange.
Why are you laughing? Because you feel like that? You feel like somebody holding something back?
Nah, I laugh because energy is crazy.
Yeah, energy is, and this is what I love about it, because we think in practical ways as people, or at least we try to, or we have designed a way that practicality is supposed to look, and if we really think about it, that's not how it always works. You know what I mean? So this is a concept that I think a lot of people struggle with. I often talk about manifestation all the time, and I talk about the laws of attraction and, how we look at life and how it plays out in our world around us. And oftentimes we think about the things that we say, or even the things that we think about, right? Or we might want something or not want something. And then we think about how it turns out, and those things don't always match. And it's really energy. A lot of times we don't even understand our own energy until we've taken the time to take a look at it and see see what it's all about.
Right.
So a lot of times we'll say certain things, but that doesn't mean that we feel those things. But because we're so used to, it's like you said, like right now, you just had a comment, I think, where you said that you can know things about certain people without them telling you, and it makes you feel kind of psycho sometimes, right?
Right.
I think that's what you said,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so even like that, right? For instance, we're raised to think, if you talk to yourself, you're crazy.
Or even, hold on. Not even just because I think, what did you say again? Because I think because I be thinking because I pick up on energies, that be making me feel like, damn, am I psycho? Because I'm picking up on energy and I don't even feel like, is that even real? Like, but it's crazy because that, in my experience, that legit has turned out to be what that person was doing, or you know what I mean, in the end, because their energy,
you're always accurate with it.
Yeah, like you said, I was 2, 3. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So I think the reason why you even have that thought in the first place, that thought of, damn it, am I psycho, or like, is that real, is because we're taught that. Like, we're taught that, if you're talking to yourself, then that's crazy, right? Or things like that. We're taught that certain things are too out of the box thinking. It's a little outer worldly. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
But right, if you were to get to know someone, right, how would you think is the best way to get to know that person? By communicating with them, right? Talking to them.
Right.
So if you're going to talk to someone else to get to know them, then, don't you think that would work for you to get to know yourself, to talk to yourself? So a lot of times we don't understand our own emotions. We don't understand them because we're always trying to fit into something that we learned. And a lot of times our own emotions don't align with everything that we learned. And so it's that battle inside about, okay, well, this is what makes sense, but this is how I'm feeling. And instead of flowing with how we feel, we kind of resist against it so that we can make sense of things. And so it's like, that's where you'll get that idea of, well, does that make me crazy, or is there something wrong with me in that sense? But no, you'll learn that when you feel those things about people, they're always accurate because you're just really intuitive. You're extremely intuitive. You're extremely aware of the energy you're feeling. So it's not just, you hear the things that people say, but a lot of times we hear the things that people say and we take what they say as everything.
Right.
Or we say things ourselves, but in our inside our body, in our hearts, in our intuition, our gut, we don't actually mean that, but we're saying that because that's what we think we should say. And so what you're doing is you're just communicating energetically, and it doesn't make you crazy. It makes you actually way more in tune than a lot of people. Because you get the real, you get what's actually real. You know what I mean? If you're feeling something from somebody and they're not saying it to you, you're feeling it. So you really are feeling how they truly feel on the inside.
Right.
But some people are going to tell you the same thing as what they truly feel on the inside because they're more self-aware. They understand their own emotions and they're able to articulate that. But a lot of people don't understand their own emotions, and so it's hard for them to articulate that because that doesn't align with what they've learned. And so they'll try and adjust to what they've learned. And so, that's what people take. And that's why we have such a struggle as human beings, really at communicating. But you're able to really feel those things, and that's what I do. Like, you do what I do without the cards and shit. And sometimes I do what I do without cards too, but that kind of creeps people out sometimes. So the cards are just attraction. Yeah, they're just, they're just a tool. They're attraction. Some people are like, yeah, Renee, read for me, and psychic channel readings. And then sometimes people are like, okay, yeah, this is creepy. So it just all depends on where the person is at. And I can feel that too.
That would never creep me out. I would just be like, oh, okay. So like, you understand. Yeah. Like, oh.
Yeah. Well, you have a very Aquarian mind, and the Aquarian mind is very out of the box. You're very open to all things philosophical, all things outer worldly. You question everything. That's how your mind works. But you want to know about it. You want to understand why people are the way that they are. Why do they do the things that they do? Why do they feel the ways that they feel? Why do they say the things that they say? You want to understand why the world works the way that it works. You have a mind like that, but not everybody has a very open mind like that. Some people are more focused on the physical, the tangible. And so those things are things they don't even entertain. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so you're not going to be...
Go ahead.
You're not going to be close off. And that's why I say that comment you made, I feel like that's a very learned thing. You know what I mean?
You said what?
It's a very learned thing. It's just, you only say that because that's what you learned, and because maybe a lot of people around you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like you're probably very hard to figure out from other people unless they really know you. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
But the other way around.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And it's because of that energy that you have. It's very complex, and it's not complex to you, but it's complex to others because they're not able to tap into your energy as well. Whereas you could probably just read a person from the door. Not saying you always do, but you always feel it.
Right.
Sometimes you probably ignore it. You just try to shove it to the side, like, okay, what's that? Or you just don't want to, but you have that knack. But not everybody could do that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can't figure you out. They're just like, what the heck are you thinking? What's on your mind?
My mom
and it isn't
can't
unless
figure
you
me
tell
out.
them.
My mom can't figure me out. I feel like that. I was talking to my guy about it. I'm like, damn, like that should make me feel bad a little bit. Is that wrong?
It took a couple interactions that we had that was...
You know what I mean? Like based on what you're saying, like, because I feel like even my mom, and she made me, so how can't she know? But like I guess it's just the way it is. You know what I mean?
I think that we put a lot of emphasis on relationships based upon title, you know, and while I think your parents are important people, it doesn't mean that they're going to naturally understand you, or that you're going to naturally understand them, or even siblings or family members. You'll just find your people, and it's just how it is. Like, right. And the thing is, the more comfortable you are with yourself and who you are and the things that make you different, the more comfortable that other people become with them as well. And at the same time, if they don't, it is not about you. You know what I mean? Oftentimes it's a struggle within the self. See, and this is another thing that's energy based, and I love talking about this, but it's also a little bit of it's like people got to be kind of open to understanding that, grasping that idea. We're always reflecting. Everything that we attract around us is always reflecting like where we're at in life. You know what I mean? I'll use relationships for a particular example. If you're not ready to deal with why you're in a certain type of relationship, whatever it is, whether it's an abusive relationship or, or maybe you only date people and they're always cheating on you, or maybe if you're not ready to deal with the whys, right? What's going on in your actual energy, your own feelings and emotions, where it's coming from, where it's stemming from, then 9 times out of 10, you're always going to attract the same thing. It's like different person. You get rid of one person, the next person comes, whole different face, whole different name, but same scenario. The thing kind of plays out the same way. And the reason that we go through reoccurring loops in our life is because we're not willing or even aware that our energy contributes somewhat to the energy that comes around us. So we can't control the doings of other people, but we can react or we can respond to them. And when you have found how self-aware, when you found figured out what your energy is and how it attracts, you can pretty much match your energy to whatever it is that you desire and attracts that, if that makes sense. It's like, say you would you probably have a strong way of manifesting. Like you have a strong manifestation ability, like naturally, just because you're so open and so intuitive like that. If you were to think about somebody for 3 days straight, you're probably going to hear from that person fairly quickly. It could be somebody you haven't even heard from or talked to in a really long time. They'll probably randomly pop up and message your Facebook or something or whatever. You know what I mean? Your IG, find you on IG. And the reason being is because we don't realize how much things work based on energy. We see only what's the tangible, and we don't realize that all of it starts in a vibrational form before it reaches the tangible. And so there's always a thought, an idea, an energy, and then it gets fed. It's like the tragedy in the world. People sit around and talk about what's going wrong in the world, what's going on wrong in the world all day. That's all they're going to see. They're going to see tons of it. They're going to see it everywhere. It's like algorithm. That's how our brains work. That's how the universe works. It's an algorithm. If you say you're into world star hip hop videos, right? And that's what you like to watch. And so on Instagram, on your feed, all you're seeing is all these, world star videos. But then you get into something different. You start, I don't know, you want to learn about veganism and healthy eating, and you start checking out videos, recipe videos about, vegetables or whatever. So now the algorithm changes. It starts suggesting you something different because it notices that you're into something different. That's pretty much how the brain works and how the universe functions. It's all vibrational. So when you start to throw your energy into something, you start to see it everywhere. You start to attract it everywhere. But we don't do it deliberately because we don't understand how it works. And so we just kind of do it by default.
Got you.
It's like the thing where
That's like manifestation, really. That's really what you're saying. A form of...
Yeah, it is manifestation. But when we think manifestation, we usually think about, well, I want to manifest this, and so this is what I'm manifesting. We forget about manifestation being an all the time thing. So you're actually always manifesting.
Right. That's what I meant. Right.
It's like the thing where the car thing, like where you don't see you've never noticed the car, but when you know somebody that has the car, maybe you get the car, now you start seeing the car all the time.
Everywhere. That's exactly what it is. It's an algorithm of the brain. And the same thing happens to us with relationships and with, whatever we're doing.
Or you've been looking at the car like, oh, I want this car. And now all of a sudden you start seeing the car all the time.
Yeah, everywhere you go, you roll up at the gas station, there's the car. You roll up, at the food place, there's the car. Now you see that car everywhere. You're on the highway, there's the car. But you never saw anybody driving it before. It's a perfect example of how energy works and how we're always manifesting by default. But then when you get into that knowing and you can do it from a deliberate place, you start seeing how things just fall into place, if that makes sense. You can never control anyone else and what they're doing, but you don't have to allow that to manipulate your energy, if that makes sense. Especially with someone like you, because you feel very misunderstood. And so when you can take yourself outside of other people's misunderstandings, and instead of putting it onto yourself, like that's not about you, that's more about them than you, then you're essentially, you're manifesting something different, right? So what happens is you'll start, if someone just doesn't understand you, right? Like they just have a hard time understanding who you are, how you are, instead of it being, okay, well, what is it about me that makes me hard for people to understand? Or why is it that, I'm so complicated to other people or whatever? And you start understanding that, well, this person just might not have a full understanding of self. And so that's why I look so out of the box to them, because I see life differently and I see from different perspectives. And I am interested in different types of things than what they're used to. Then so that really doesn't have anything to do with me. That's more about them than it is about me. And when you can come from that perspective, then you're less focused on that and you're more focused on, well, what do I like? What am I interested in? Who do I want to connect with? And you start meeting other people just like you. And you're like, oh shoot, I've never met another person with this type of perspective before. Or I never met another person who saw it that way before. Or I never met another person who understood, these parts of me before. And all of a sudden you start manifesting those people. And I'm not saying that the people around you already are not for you, because sometimes those people, what we do, and I'm pretty sure you do this too. What we do is we kind of dim it. We dim ourselves down a little bit. You know what I mean? We kind of we dim the shine a little bit so that you're comfortable. And so we talk about what, you want to talk about, or we do what you want to do. And, and that's something that's learned too. We learn that. And, so you just kind of almost feed that energy a little bit. And when you decide, well, it's okay to me, like I love you very much, it's okay to me that you do not understand what I'm doing, but this is me and this is what I like to do, and so I'm going to continue doing it. What happens is they either fall away because they completely can't get with your energy, and so now there's no room for them in your life, or they see you're shining, you're being who you are yourself all day, every day, and they're like, damn, I like this, and they start kind of meeting you at your vibration now, your frequency, and they become more open to things that you can enlighten them on that maybe they were not open to before, if that makes sense.
It does.
Energy is one of the most amazing things in period. It's just literally the epitome of all. But I don't think that we're, privy to really learning so much about. I mean, all the information is out there. It's just that I think it's almost like that algorithm. When you start becoming open to certain things in your life, those opportunities start coming more towards you as opposed to before.
Right.
Just like, yeah,
I agree with that.
They just start showing up, when you're open to them.
Just like being, like you're saying, just like being open to things. Then like when new things come, it's just like, well, okay, it ain't really nothing no more, because I've been open to shit. If that makes sense,
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah, you've been open to shit, but you also, so this is what happens. There's the but, right? So like, say I have a business, right? And I want to manifest money, right? And I use this because it's just an easier example for people to understand, but you can manifest anything you desire. But say you're like, okay, I want to manifest money. And so you're like, well, I'm going to speak the affirmations. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to manifest this money, right? So you start speaking money affirmations. You're like, man, I am abundant. I am, I have a booming business. I have lots of clients. I meet people all over the world. But what happens is, as you keep talking about these things that you're manifesting, all you start thinking about is the fact that you don't have them yet, right? And so you're like, damn, and you get into the energy of not having it. So it's not necessarily about, it's about the emotion, right? Because you're open to many things, right? I'm sorry, I'm drinking water. Okay. So say I do these affirmations to the point where I feel all I'm feeling is the lack of, or the absence of, this thing I'm trying to manifest, right? Or money, I should say, in this instance. What's happening is it's like a big but to the universe. So the universe feels your vibration. The universe doesn't give a fuck about language. It's like you're like the universe, basically. How you're hearing people talk, but their energy isn't matching what they're saying, and so you don't really care about what they're saying. You care more about what you're feeling. That's how the universe is. The universe hears you praying for money. The universe hears you praying for solutions. The universe hears you praying for health. The universe hears you praying for these things, but it doesn't equate. It doesn't speak that language. It speaks the language of vibration, energy. So it doesn't listen to your words. It listens to your feelings. And so if you're always thinking about and talking about making money, but all you're ever feeling is the lack of it, the absence of it, the universe is going to continue to offer you the lack of money and the absence of money, because it is honoring your energy. It is reciprocating. It's matching you. If you decide every day to feel like you're already that, right? Like me, I consider myself a mentor. I am doing it to probably about, 5, 6 people, maybe sometimes 10 or 11 people on a live on IG. But in my mind, I'm standing up on a stage and I'm talking to about 500,000 people who got on a plane to come to a conference and listen to me talk shit all weekend. Okay? So as long as I'm feeling that, and I'm excited about it, and I'm amped up, and everything I'm telling you, I'm like, I believe in this, and this is what I'm, all about, and this is what I'm giving to you, and blah, 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 and I'm feeling your energy, and I'm sharing this with you, and I feel that way, like, to my core, then inevitably I'm going to manifest that. That is going to happen because I'm feeling it, not because I'm saying it or wanting it, but because I'm feeling it. I'm already there. So what happens is it already exists because I already created a preference. We're creators. So when you decide you don't like something and you create a preference that you like something else, you have now already created it in the ethers. You know what I mean? Energy, vibrationally, you got to think all things are energy. Our body and skin is energy. It's just that you can see it because all these atoms have come together so tightly, and now it forms something that you can look at. But like air, you can't see air, but you believe in it, right? You know that it's real. It exists. You breathe it, you feel it, but you can't see it, okay? That's how all things exist before it becomes physical. If it exists in vibration. So you've already created it because it exists. You already created a preference. You say, well, you know what? I would prefer that. And so bam, there you go. You created it. It exists. It's in the vibrational realm. But what happens is we do this thing where it's like, yes, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, but oh my gosh, I don't have it. And how long is it going to take to get here? And what am I going to do to get it? And am I going to be able to do the steps? And so what our energy is saying is lack. So the universe goes, when we're amped up and excited about it and we're feeling good and we're talking to people and we're like, yes, and then we're going to do this and we're going to do that. The universe is like, oh, yeah. And it's sending it to you. But then every time you have those feelings and emotions about the lack of it, it's like a big but. It goes, but to the universe, and the universe says, oh, okay, so we're sending you the lack. Let's send you the lack. We're going to send you the struggle. We're going to send you this. We're going to send you that. And it's not that the universe doesn't care about you. It's that the universe always honors you. You run the show. You are the creator. It matches you. It's an algorithm. So it's understanding the emotion. The tool. The tools are the thoughts and the words. Those are tools. Because I say to you, man, me and my kids, we really need a house, man. We need more space. I need a house. I want a backyard. I'm trying to learn how to I want to build a garden. The kids need room to run around. We're cramped. I want an island in my kitchen. I'd love to cook. I really need this house, right? You heard what I said, right? But now I'll say to you, you know what? I've already seen my house. My house has a plaque on the front door. It says home. It's got an extra bedroom. It's got a full bathroom. It's got a couple full bathrooms because I need my own. Them kids is a little messy. And you know what? Watch. We're going to see me in a couple months and you're going to see my house. I already manifested. It's mine. It's just on its way to me. So I said the same thing, but it sounded different. The energy was different. And we do that to ourselves. We say, I want love. I want love. I want a relationship that works. But, man, women are just, I don't know out here. And men are just, I don't know out here. And, they're just doing this and they're just doing that. So we know what we want, but we sit in the energy of what we don't want. And the same thing with our, with money or with business or with whatever. We know what we want, but we're focusing so much on, I got to work harder. I got to work longer. I got to put more hours and I got to do this because I got to chase that money. I got to go this. And what's happening is you're always going to be chasing money because it's running from you because you're feeling the lack of it.
Yeah, that's the secret.
Yeah. So when you let it go, right? You decide something. You say, I decide this is what I want, right? I desire to have a fully functioning, highly abundant business, and always add and more because we think in limitations. The universe doesn't think in limitations. It's full of infinite possibility. So, you're like, well, I would love to be making, $100,000 in this amount of time. But then you want to say, and more, because, that's your thinking. The universe is like, there's so much more you don't know about. So you want to open yourself up always, but without the expectation of its loss or lack, right? Because like you said, I'm always open. And a lot of us are. I'm always open, but we are almost energetically expecting disappoint because that's what we're used to. And so when we get things, we're anticipating disappoint. And so we attract disappoint, if that makes sense. But when you just claim it and you say, okay, that's what it is and that's what I desire, and I already know it's mine because I know I'm a creator and I know that is going to inevitably come to me. And now you let it go. And now the rest of the minutes between the moment that you created it and the moment that it comes to you, you're spending these minutes enjoying life, enjoying the process, doing something you enjoy to do, being satisfied with your current surroundings because you already are, because you're going to enjoy, you're not just thinking about the destination, you're going to enjoy watching this unfold because suddenly someone's going to hit you up and say, hey, I heard it is that you're doing this thing over there and, I got this opportunity and you want to be a part of it? And you're like, oh, shoot, that's like right up my alley. Or somebody says to you, you want to manifest a relationship of some sort. And then you just stop thinking about it. I'm going to worry about myself. I'm just going to match it. I'm going to make sure I'm ready for this thing that when it comes in, you suddenly randomly bump into somebody who's just in a whole nother vibration than the people that you're used to meeting, right? Out of nowhere, you bump into them randomly. You know what I mean? These things will just come to you. We kind of jack ourselves up a little bit without knowing. It's not intentional. We don't do it on purpose, but we focus a lot on what isn't working. What isn't working? What isn't working? What isn't working? And we interfere with the attraction of what will work because of the energy that we're giving into expanding what isn't working.
Preach.
And it isn't, yeah, right? It's just about the perspective and how you're looking at it.
And we can get to some
Quick question, and then we'll get to the next person. So that's have you ever heard of The Secret?
Yes.
Yeah, that's everything you were saying. That's all the stuff that I heard from that. It's a book.
Yeah.
It's a book and a little documentary, I guess you could say. And that's all.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
It was like the thoughts. The thoughts is the thoughts, but what really get you what you want is the feeling behind the thoughts.
Yeah. And when you do it, right? When you put all else to the side and you actually just do it, because the thing that keeps us from doing this is the worry, is the fear, is the thing that, we want so badly. And that's kind of what goes back to what when we were talking earlier about those obsessive readings. We only ask for those, we only go through those periods of time because we can't get off of what we want that we don't have. And so when we're in that particular energy, we get a little obsessive about it. It's like circles, because it's like, okay, we want this, but we don't have it. And it's like this obsession. But when we could just let it go and leave it alone and focus on what is working, it's almost like that thing we were so obsessive about just almost like bumps into us, like trips us. It's so, out of the blue that it just trips us, So to take it a step further, the secret is very interesting. I came across The Secret some years back. But to take it a step further, and it's funny because I didn't even know about this book until someone that I connected with said, have you ever read this book? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And I'm a big bookworm. I love books, but they said everything you teach is in this book. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to read it. It's The Kabbalion. And I don't know if you read The Kabbalion or not, but it talks about Hermetic principles, and which are essentially the principles of the universe, or the laws of the universe. And I hear people all the time, especially in the spiritual community, talk about the laws of the universe. And a lot of people will boil those down to, I guess what I would consider the laws of man. You should not steal, you should not kill, things like that. The universe doesn't really function. It's very different when you're so hell bent about what is one thing or the other, when what is right and what is wrong, or what is up or what is down, or what is left or what is right. It's very difficult for you to see that there is a lot of other things going on in the in-between, right? And that's kind of what those principles talk about. It talks about balance, because the universe functions in balance. Man looks at everything as one way or the other, black or white. But if you get 100 people in a room and you ask all of them what good or bad is, they're going to give you different answers. If you ask a lot of different people about how they view the black cat, some of them will tell you it is royal. It is royalty. It is a representation of royalty. Others will tell you it's bad luck. Don't let it cross your path. You're going to get bad luck. So all things are in perspective. And this is a concept. I'm actually excited to talk to you guys about it, because I struggle sometimes. Well, I don't struggle, but a lot of people struggle sometimes when they hear this concept. They want to battle it and combat it because it doesn't defend one thing or the other. It just says all of it is. All of it is, and it says you get to choose how you experience it. So it doesn't say that this is wrong or right. It doesn't say that this is true or false, or that this exists or doesn't, or that it's real or not real. It says all of it is in existence, and you get to decide how you experience it.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. That there's no such thing as good or bad.
What do you mean, though? I don't understand what you mean, because you're saying there is no such thing as good or bad. So you just get to experience it.
Yeah, because what's good to you ain't good to the next person, and what's bad to you ain't bad to the next person.
But what about what's morally right, though?
And see, this is where we struggle. So I had a conversation with someone recently about this, and they're like, "But what about animals? Animals aren't doing these things to each other. Animals aren't doing that things to each other." And I said, "Well, do you ever watch them nature shows?" A lot of treacherous shit is happening in the animal kingdom, but the difference between the animal kingdom and us is that all things happen out of natural instinct in the animal kingdom. We have to put justification and validation behind it, and so we do things for reason. We do things out of greed. We do things out of this, out of that, out of wants, out of need.
From animals, we have all the things that animals have. We have animal instincts, but we have reason. They don't have that.
So the animal doesn't sit around and say, well, am I going to, the cheetah or the lion doesn't say, should I kill this deer today? You know what I mean? Or doesn't say, well, today I'm going to go kill 5 deers instead of 1. It doesn't do any of that because it's just living naturally. It is feeding itself, feeding its family, and this is the natural function of life. The bird, the mama bird, is going to push the little bird out of the tree, and you just gonna have to figure it out, learn how to fly, because that is just a natural function of their lifestyle. The little baby turtles, they come out of their eggs and they're on the shore and they have to find their way to the water and hopefully make it. And so there's a lot of things that happen in the animal kingdoms, but everything is natural. It's all balance. See, with us, we want to say it's fair for some things to happen to some people, but it's not fair for it to happen to other people. We want to say everything is for validation, justification, and it's about outside of ourselves, right? I need you to call me every day because I need you to show me love, because I need that from you. But when you are showing yourself love, you do not need that from the other person. You appreciate what you're getting from the other person. You attract a lot of love because people see how you love yourself, and they're like, you know what? I can't be loving you no less than you love yourself. It's all vibration. Or like, 2 people from the same hood. You know what I mean? And one ends up, with the needle in their arm, and the other one ends up, a WNBA star. You know what I mean? What is the difference between them? What is their difference? The only difference is their belief in their reaction or response to life. And so one person can say, I am in this position in life because of how my parents raised me, where I grew up, what was happening to me, who did what to me, who taught this to me. The other person can say, all of those things that happened to me made me who I am today. It's all in perspective, but we struggle with that. We struggle to look at all things for what they are and focus on how we're experiencing them rather than trying to adjust them to match what we believe is right and wrong, which never adds up because we all think something different. See, the animals don't do that. They just live and they trust their instincts, and that's it. And good things happen and bad things happen, but they experience life. They live. We struggle to live in harmony because we are against experiences happening in our lives. And when they happen, we allow them to create our feelings, our emotions. We allow them to control our reactions. And then we judge other people. We have a struggle seeing other people as equal to ourselves because we look in terms of, well, what color are you? Or what tax bracket are you in? Or where do you come from? Or what, country did you grow up on? And so we separate ourselves.
I feel like we had that. And I really don't want to go into this, but I feel like we had that, especially like the native people here.
Yes.
And then the white man came over here and did what they did and applied they shit to us. Right.
And if you look at the country, and now we're just talking about something recent, right? We're talking about something recent from the state of the world. But if you look at the world and you go back and back and back and back into history, it's cyclical. It's cyclical. We live in fear and under control, but we don't have to.
Right.
We don't have to. We don't have to. So if you go back into like native culture, our indigenous, certain indigenous cultures that are still somewhat intact, you'll see that they might kill an animal. But if they kill that animal, they're going to utilize every single part of that animal down to its, teeth or its claws or its hide, or they might say a prayer once they've killed it and give it back to the earth. And, it's just a respect factor. See, we don't move in respect. We move in validation and justification. And that is why our experience becomes an experience of being controlled rather than being in control. But if we could just be okay with the fact that all things are in existence and that every religion is a bit of truth, and every idea is actual, and every existence makes sense Because if I was in your shoes and I grew up in India, then I might have that culture and I might have that religious belief and I might have that experience. So what we do is we have to denote it. Instead of being okay with it, it's there. But I am going to experience this how I desire to experience it, and I'm going to respect all other things and all other people and allow the experiences to unfold, because that is what life is all about. That is what our whole existence is about. It's about how, it's not about destination. See, everybody's striving and fighting to get to something. And then you become, 65 and you never really lived your life because you were always trying to do something. You got that car, you got that wife, you got those kids, you got that degree, you did that career. You're working till, you get a pension and retirement, but all of it was what you thought you should do. Did you live life? Was that the definition of success to you? You got people who have millions and millions and millions of dollars and they're extremely happy. And then you got people who have millions and millions and millions of dollars and they kill themselves one day and we can't figure out why. They had everything they wanted.
Right.
And
then you got people
that's
who are living in a treehouse
and miserable. But then you got people that's
and his happiest day in that treehouse.
Happy as hell, yeah.
Exactly. You got people in the hood that ain't gonna never leave the hood.
Never.
They don't care that you got that house over there in the rural areas and you keep trying to get them to move over there. They don't want to go.
They don't care.
They like where they at.
Yep.
That's home. And then you got them people who live in a treehouse and they're happy as hell. They sit in the nature and they enjoy life. It is not about what you have. It is about how do you feel
about what you had.
Right.
Exactly. And so if you are striving to do something, and that is why we forget that energy is important, because when you decide that you're manifesting something, it's not about where you're headed. It's about seeing yourself in the vibration of what that is going to bring you. Because when you're manifesting something, ultimately you're deciding that that's going to bring you happiness.
Right.
But it's never going to bring you happiness, because what happens is we achieve it and then it doesn't bring us happiness.
And then don't bring us happiness.
Nothing outside of yourself can bring you happiness. You can decide that you want to be happy and you can be happy where you are. And guess what? Everything that comes to you is going to align with your happiness. And so when you meet somebody and they say, you know what, I don't agree with anything you're saying, and I combat that, and this is what I think, you could either take it as, damn, you disrespectful as hell, and I don't like you, and bop, 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 bop. Or you could say, you know what, I love this. I love that you're teaching me something. I love that you're teaching me something new that I didn't know about before. Or I love that I'm not reacting to you the way that I did 2 years ago to other people, and you've shown me how much I've grown now. It's all about perspective and how you're receiving it. And it doesn't mean that the situation is different. It just means that it's experienced different. And so that's why we struggle with the laws of the universe, because the laws of the universe never talk about what's good or bad or what's right or wrong. It doesn't even have a preference. It allows all things to be in existence because we are naturally creators. What it says is what your vibration is how you're going to experience. And then we keep deciding, but no, if you kill little kids, you're evil. You know what I mean? If you did that thing, you're evil. If you do this, you're evil. But sometimes people do things out of, then we find out how tricky that is, right? Because no two experiences are the same. So this kid stole that because they wanted more of it, but that kid stole that because they don't have any food in the house. So which one is right and which one is wrong?
Right.
Or you could just say that kid who stole that because they didn't have food in their house is in one vibration, and that kid who stole that because they're greedy and they wanted to take it from that person, or that was spiteful, is in another vibration. And so their experiences are going to be very different from each other. But there's no tell. It's not a specific experience. It's just they're going to experience it differently. It may not look different to us, but their experience is going to be different because they're coming from two different vibrations. But we are so focused on the destination, the thing that happened, the unfair part of it, or, the fact that we are, oppressed, or the fact that we're in, we're different, whatever, we have different belief systems, whatever it is. We're so focused on that. I have to get to the place of being in this, status. I have to get to this tax bracket. I have to get to my business to this level. That we do not enjoy the process there. And it takes us so much longer to get there because we keep throwing the energy of lack in there and the energy of absence in there and the energy of this is so hard and this is so difficult. And, and so that's going to be our experience.
Right.
Or you have that person that gets, maybe their business isn't making a whole lot of money, but they're successful as hell. And every time they want to do something, they can. If they want to travel, they can. It just works out for them. Why? Because they believe it will. And so they attract opportunities for it too. And maybe logistically your business is making more money than theirs, but you seem to be running into a lot of issues and problems. And that person seems to always be able to do what it is they want to do, even if they don't seem to have enough money to do it. Somehow they're able to travel. Somehow they're able to do this. Somehow they're able to do that. And it's because they believe it.
You just favored.
You just favored. And that's the thing too. I think that we put a lot of emphasis on something outside of ourselves, and I firmly believe in God and firmly believe in, respecting the energy of God or source or whatever, or Allah or Yahweh or whatever you want to call it. But I believe that we put so much emphasis in something outside of ourselves, always choosing whether or not we're going to be punished or rewarded. Yeah. And we forget that we are the only, being that is in control of that. And we oftentimes either punish or reward ourselves. And we'll put ourselves through a lifetime of punishment or a lifetime of rewards. It just depends.
Mommy, can I put another insect in?
Yes, you can, baby. Thank you.
Go to bed.
I'm going to the phone I'm on right now is dying, so I'm gonna hang up here and I'm gonna call you on my other phone.
Okay.
And then we can get to the next person's reading.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Sorry, I get on my tangents.
Oh no, you good.
I'm loving this episode. I want to say that.
This is all great.
Yeah, it's exciting when
I'm bad, huh?
to connect with people open to perspective,
Absolutely.
So
and to share things with me as well.
So yeah, I'll call you on my other phone here. Just give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Howdy.
Hey.
Bless you.
I'm up next, right? Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is really dope. Where do you guys share this on?
All platforms.
Yep.
Instagram, YouTube,
Spotify, iTunes, Google Play,
iTunes,
Apple Podcasts, whatever. Catfish Buffalo.
All right now.
Catfish, huh?
That's what's up.
Buffalo, same thing.
That means same thing. Yeah.
He don't know nothing about that.
I ain't up on y'all.
That's what happened when you got the country. Yeah, that's what happened when you got a country daddy.
Yeah, sound like some
Daddy country as hell. He was saying
Country as hell.
Catfish Buffalo. Like,
Catfish Buffalo, same thing.
When he said it, I used to think it'd be like they both meats. Like, he said, no, there's a buffalo fish.
That looks like what?
I don't know what it looked like. There's a fish. It's a buffalo fish. He said, "Hey, they both fish."
Damn,
so, yeah, let me look at it.
Picturing like a buffalo face in the water.
Never heard of no
Just
buffalo.
like mad. I didn't either. I thought he meant they was both meat.
As soon as he see a redfish, it just
there
won't.
they go. Big mouth buffalo. It's a fish.
Oh, that's like a bass.
So they both fish. Hey.
That be in that be in Mississippi waters.
That's a little bit abnormal.
You'd be surprised all the wild things that are in the water.
Look at Big Bro. That's off Duck Dynasty or some shit. He was looking for a duck and he got that motherfucker.
Fish,
yeah.
Ain't nobody holding a little one.
No.
These all big ass fish.
Damn.
Okay.
Fish about swole.
These motherfuckers look like cats.
Is that good? Is buffalo good?
I don't know.
I like to have that. I like to have to try that. Oh God!
Go ahead.
That's a meat up in that. Look at the belly on that motherfucker. Let me get that. Oh,
Can you make one of those gold things?
This probably gonna be the cover art.
Look, it's fried right there. Yeah.
Oh, right there.
Right there with the bread.
with hot sauce on.
Yeah,
That's in Illinois too.
click that, enlarge that, put that the whole screen. I want to see that the whole screen.
That's it right there.
Yeah. Ooh, go down. Look at that.
Before.
Got the hot sauce on there.
Bread
On top of the bread.
Look how they coated it. They coated everything. That was black. Some black people did
No
that.
bullshit. That look good as hell.
God damn.
I can't eat seafood, bro.
I make a sandwich.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I use what you would do? I use the bread and make a sandwich.
It's already a sandwich.
I'm making a sandwich with the shit hanging out the back.
Man, shout out to Pops
Can I
for
get
that.
that?
I say that.
Renee,
shit
you
all
ever
the time.
had a buffalo fish fritter? That's what that's called.
What would you like?
Honey, when you use this, try not to.
Can't wait till my kids.
Okay,
get
we gotta read, bro. Like we gotta read, bro. I'm just talking crazy about fish. I'm hungry. Fuck.
You like beluga?
You want tamale?
Yeah.
I've been missing so much that she now she's
Chicken
Fish.
tamale.
now she's
Oh, you got tamale?
now she's doing great surfing.
I went to the taco truck and saved me one tamale and my rice for me to eat.
Go ahead.
Mommy,
All right, Renee, we ready for Chris's
I
reading.
saw Sanji's foot, and then Claire just instantly went in my mind and said,
Okay.
"Would you like your name to be Claire?" And he said that.
I can't wait to hit my kids with all the lines my daddy hit me with. Catfish buffalo. What?
Same thing.
I don't say anything.
All right, my love.
Shit my pop said to me that it was like, what?
Did you just do the Birdman hair up?
That was.
Oh, I thought I heard Renee doing that.
No, it was another one. One of my pop's friends he said, "Dog, that shit had me rolling." It was at my pop's birthday dinner. This was a few years ago, probably more than a few years ago, like 6, 7 years ago.
Nigga, lame man.
They was talking and somebody said, "I used to something." And he was like, "Used to was a rooster, now it's a chicken."
Fool.
I said, "What?"
That's a good one.
He said, "Used to was a rooster, now it's a chicken."
I remember you said that. Like, yeah, that is a good one. I can't wait till somebody say used to. I used to. Man, you was a rooster. Not chicken.
Country ass.
Your laugh, yo. You were.
Dog, you know another one. I heard this from a white dude on a podcast. It was actually on Shaq podcast, his old podcast. He got a different one now.
Okay.
But the dude said, what was they talking about? They was talking about something, and he was saying could have been or such and such could have been whatever. And he was like, my aunt could have been my uncle if she had balls.
I heard that somewhere.
Damn.
That's wild.
Like, what?
Damn.
So basically, Unc Saw.
Huh?
So basically, he calling Unc Saw.
No, basically what he's saying is if my aunt had balls, she would be a man. So she would be my uncle. So it's like, motherfucker, it don't matter what you talking about. Could have been. Motherfucker, anything could have been something else. But
It wasn't ugly.
what we talking about?
Ugly. What type of shit is that?
All right, Renee, you ready?
I'm ready, my love.
I'm ready.
I love your laugh. I just want you to know that.
Me?
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that because a lot of people be clowning me. But
I show be clowning. I'm like, Steve Harvey, nephew looking at nigga. Show ass looking at. Yeah, go ahead. Show ass.
Look, it's seasoned. It has like ancient energy to it. Okay, like it's been had for a long time.
Like, it's your ancient
It
laugh.
done last about a lot of things.
Got an ancient laugh. Oh, he ain't never letting that go. Okay, ancient.
I like that.
He got an old soul
I
though.
want that. Exactly. That's what I want. I want that.
Go ahead. I want to hear you because I'm ready.
I'm here, Renee.
I'm ready for this one too. Both of them I was ready for.
Draw that first card, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Please pull something up that say that he need to move too.
Oh no. No.
So who am I reading for now?
Chris. You want to see her?
Chris.
Okay, well, damn.
I'm gonna come and get a visual after we all done. Renee.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Is she sideways? I think she's sideways.
Yeah, I put it back now. I have my battery plugged, so I got good battery now.
Yeah, I had it sideways because I had it on my laptop.
I know, and you're just like me because I'm like, it drives me nuts if I have to be the same way as whoever I'm looking at.
Yeah, I like that too.
And I realize that's a me problem because other people don't really care about it.
What's the problem she said?
You try to flip the phone the same way the person you talking to got the phone flipped because the screen look different.
Like you
So
might
if you got it sideways and you got it straight up, they picture look different.
Oh yeah, I'm with you too. Like get your pictures together, or I'm hanging up.
Your shit on the angle.
Yeah, I had my battery plugged, so that's why I gave him the warning. I was like, look, I'm about to put you sideways because I just know how I am. That'll bug me.
Do you be
petty? Sideways, you just come on with me. All right, so now I got good battery now, so now we straight up.
All right.
Chris, nice to meet you, my love.
Nice to meet you.
Let's do it.
Woo, yeah, let's get it.
Hometown hero, nothing but moving.
Come on.
She can be like, oh my gosh, she's gonna say the Batmobile's gonna have a flat tire tomorrow. Bro, the car's fine.
Man, cars
on point.
On point.
I'm excited.
Oh, we got one already falling out.
I'm excited to listen back to this.
We got one already falling out. Oh man.
I probably ain't gonna listen to it all the way. I'm gonna just put the timestamps for each person's reading. That's all.
Give me boo. Thank you. I know. All right, one more. And we are hopping in.
Yes, come on. Let's go.
Can you close that door a little bit, baby? You can leave it slightly cracked, but it's chill. All righty. Ooh, I like this energy. This is beautiful. So,
see, that's why I wish I had another camera. I wanted a close-up on niggas.
I love you too, baby.
Aww.
I like that hoodie, man.
Thanks,
man. He
Burberry.
Big money out here.
I don't got no money. I don't got no money, baby, man. I didn't
even know they made hoodies. I'm gonna have to go in there and look.
I don't got no money, baby. I put $7 in my tank. Gas $4.50. That wasn't nothing but a gallon and a half.
Yeah, I see. That's how we know you got money. You got that premium. Gas say $4.50 for me. Fuck. It's $4.
Damn.
You got that premium.
I just love how things like unfold and roll because we had all this talk and we then went on off a tangent talking about manifestation. And the first card that pops out for you is the Magician card, which is all about manifestation. The Magician is, on a lower vibration, it can be somewhat of a trickster, but I don't get that at all. This is just manifestation energy. This is about having all of the tools and being able to, design your life how you want it. I believe this is about work or career. You're trying to balance your work home life is what you're trying to do. It's like you want to be able to provide, but you want to be able to have time for yourself, have time for your family, have time for the things that you want to do. So you're kind of in this energy of trying to balance the two out. The Ace of Swords is here. And so this is about new beginnings in intellect and knowledge, in perspective, gaining new ways and new insights of doing things, and also ideas. So I feel like you have all these new ideas coming to you as of late in terms of what you're going to do monetarily moving forward. And I think you want to, this is like going back to that first reading I did. I feel like you're in this energy of wanting to start a new business, start a business. The Emperor is here. And I don't know if you already have a business started, but I feel like you're getting these. I don't feel that. I feel like you're just getting ideas to start something new. The Emperor talks about leadership. talks about being, this is boss energy. This is somebody who is, you know, I won't say dictating, because you don't give me dictatorship energy. And sometimes this card can come out like that on that more, controlling energy. But this is more like leading energy. This is more like setting the tone. You know what I mean? And so you're in this place of wanting to rise up and kind of like just lead your life and lead the people around you, your family, and you're trying to manifest that comfort, you know what I mean, in it, being able to do all of the things I want to do and having the time to do all of it and not having to be stressed about it. The Nine of Wands is here, and it feels like the Nine of Wands talks about being protective of your energy, but it talks about having been through some stuff that made you that way.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I don't know if it was the thing of, dealing with people just kind of like always calling you. I don't know what kind of work you do, but it feels like this on-call type of energy. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be available when I need you to be available. Yeah. You got to be willing to do this because I need you to do that. You got to be willing to do, you know what I mean? It was like so much was asked of you.
Yeah.
And you almost felt like just taken advantage of at some point. And it's like, yo, I'm not really receiving enough for what I'm putting into this.
Right.
And so you're kind of in this bit of a protective energy of yourself. You're like, I'm not gonna really allow that to keep happening because I feel like I'm missing out on certain things in life because of it. Like, I want to be able to be there for certain things that happen when it comes to my family. I don't want to have to miss everything. I don't want to have to always be, bless you, baby, have to always be on call. You know what I mean? Right. So I'm getting that type of energy here. The Five of Swords and the Ten of Wands is here. So, man, it's been a little bit of an uphill battle. I also feel like that makes you, it just discourages you, It's like you have this very modest energy about you. Like, you're just so, it's modest, but it's also almost like put other people first type of energy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'll set myself to the side. You know what I mean? It's okay. I'll set myself to the side so I can make sure that you're good and you have what you need, and it's okay. You're taken care of and you have what you need. And so I think sometimes you forget about yourself, because this doesn't strike me. This card, that Five of Swords, is like that doubt, self-doubt. But this doesn't necessarily strike me as you truly doubting yourself. It's just like it's like after you spend the energy on focusing on other people, making other people comfortable, even in your workplace, because I feel like you're that person that's going to go in and you're going to get the job done. You do the work, you do it right. And because you do it right, instead of you getting this like, well, let's make you the lead or the, one running this show, it's like, oh, let's give you more work because you're the one that's going to do it right. Such and such over here is going to sit around and they're going to do it right. But it's like you're still getting the same amount of money as that person, and that person is, just chilling around doing whatever the hell they want. And so you're like, it's like you see it, but there's some inclination to you to just always do what is expected. Like, you have that energy. You're like, if this is the job and it needs to get done right, I'm going to do it right. And so it's that little tussle where it's like, okay, I don't feel like I'm getting my worth, but at the same time, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it how it needs to be done. I'm going to get it done because that's just the person you are. Yeah. So what happens is it takes the energy away from you putting that energy into what you want to build, what you want to grow. And this is you. It's like, you see how this horse is carrying all this like luggage, and it's just you, and it's going uphill and it's all heavy. This is you. It's like you got a lot of stuff sitting on your shoulders and sitting on your neck and sitting on your back, and you're walking uphill and you're carrying all of this. And you do it because that's what is expected somewhat of you from other people, or from people at work, or even people that you provide for. And what happens is that there's something else that you want to do, but that energy gets drained a bit, and you're like, okay, I don't know if I can. You know what I mean? It's like a doubt. Yeah. The Six of Swords is here, and so is the Seven of Cups. So there's a lot of confusion as to what your options are and whether or not you can, delve into other options and what you want to do. And you want to make some kind of move here. I feel like you want to change careers, This could even be moving area. Like you could even want to move to a different area. Six of Swords is about movement. So I feel like it's part mental shifts, like the ideas that you have and the way that you're looking at life and the way that you can live and the way that you can work and also do things for yourself and your family and other stuff. It's changing. But as it does, so does, it's like your scenery. You want your scenery to be different as well. So the Six of Swords energy says to me that you've been wanting a change of scenery. Your current scenery is draining to you, but the Seven of Cups says you're very confused as to how to do that. How do I make that happen? How do I make that happen? The moon is here. This goes back to intuition like we were talking about before. You've got to be willing to feel out your gut. What is your gut telling you? And to trust it. This talks about the unknown. The moon, it's not like the sun. When the sun shines, you can see everything is bright. Right. You can see everything. But when the moon shines, it's bright, but it's only illuminating one spot, right? Everything else looks dark. Right. So you're not going to be able to see everything that's coming. You're not going to be able to see the outcome of everything. You're not going to be able to see all of the steps even of how to get there. But you're going to have to trust the spot you can see, the illuminated spot, and be able to step into it. When you step into it, the next spot will light up. When you step into that spot, the next spot will light up. It's like just stepping into the unknown, being able to trust your gut, because you're already this leader here, this emperor. You're already this leader. I get this feeling like you might like to do, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's almost like you like to work with maybe youth or adolescents or younger people, almost like mentorship type of thing, or, you want to be able to do something hands-on, but something that you enjoy. Like I can see you, or feel the energy that I feel from you. I can see you doing, I don't know, like coaching, or just like talking to young people, whether it's like talking to them about finances or talking to them about, loving on themselves or getting into sports or something. It's like you want to be hands-on and you have big leadership energy. Like you can get in front of a group of, kids or a group of young adults and teach them some shit that you learned along the way. Right. And they're going to be able to, benefit from that. That's going to be able to help them in their next steps. And I get this energy from you. Like those are things that you can engage yourself in and enjoy and love to do. Right. But I feel like the worry with that is like, I got a family to take care of and I have bills to pay. And, how can I do the thing I really love to do and be able to get what I'm worth out of it? This doubt doesn't feel like it's about other people. It feels like this is you. You take on burdens, Yeah. And you've already, you've convinced yourself that that's what you need to do. You need to carry these burdens for these people. So this doesn't feel like there's anybody else. Like in that earlier reading, I felt those other people with their two senses in, you know what I mean? Talking about, well, I don't know about your vision. I don't know about that. That doesn't make sense. That's not going to work. And so with that situation, it was more like, let me just clean the clutter of who's around me, spitting all this stuff so I can hear myself think, because I know what I want to do. This is different. This is not other people telling you this. I feel like there are some people around you that do support you fully, but you are that person that will take on the burdens. You say, well, that's okay. Let me carry that. Right. Let me carry that. Let me carry that.
That's most definitely me. That's most definitely me.
Yeah. I think that your change in scenery is very necessary for you. I think that once you make that move, you will see your vision to this leadership position that you want to step into, this business that you want to start, this this thing you want to do more clearly. I'm going to pull you some oracles now too, but I feel like you're going to have to trust yourself to take the first step though. I decided, so I'm going to be moving very soon, and I feel like this will help you in some way. So that's why I feel called to say it, because you're in between this, this sun energy, this happy place energy. This is where, the moon is here, and you remember this is only lighting up that one spot. So it's like I can't really see everything. And what happens is you get into this Five of Wands energy where you fight with yourself.
Yeah.
This is inner conflict. And this is like, you know, this is one piece of you saying, but this is what we really love. This is what we really want to do. And the other piece of you is like, we don't know about that. That's too, we can't see that. This is what we can do now. And this is what we're going to do because this makes sense, because this is paying the bills, because this is what, we got to take care of these things.
Right.
And so you go through this inner tussle and this inner battle with yourself. And this is not attached to anyone else. This is just what you've carried. You picked this up. You've decided, I'm going to carry everybody and their burdens. I want to take care of, but I want to provide for. And what happens is you accept some of those things at work when sometimes you're the person picking up the load and the other people are not doing as much, but you're doing all of it and you're not really getting, promoted or getting higher pay or getting that, trainer pay or whatever it is. You're not getting that. And so this is draining you. This is not allowing you to live the life that you desire. This is not allowing you to, have that work-life balance where you feel like you can do all the things that you want to do. I love this. You are built to be servicing people. You're built for that. Like, this is just what you do. You're naturally a service, the type of person that will service someone. Yeah. Are you interested in some type of like fitness or health? Do you like go to the gym, or do you like do some kind of movement routine where you go out and like walk or bike or something like that? Or is that something you want to do?
That's something I do want to do, but I don't do it like regularly. But
you don't have time.
Yeah, I do a lot of at home working out and stuff. So I got like an at home gym, but yeah, I do be wanting to get out and like work out and stuff though.
Les, Papa, can you come pick this up for me? Okay. Have you ever in your mind thought of creating your business? Do you know what you want to do as far as your business goes, or you just know that you want to build something?
I got two ideas. Like I either want to open like a little night lounge, you know what I'm saying, or a studio. I know I got those two ideas. I've been leaning hard towards those two ideas, but yeah, those are my two main ideas.
Okay. Have you ever thought about incorporating some type of body benefit, like a holistic type of approach, you know what I mean? Like maybe body movement, dancing, something of the sort involved in your endeavor?
No, not too much of dance. No, not really. Can't really say no.
I think you will. The time to give rather than take is showing up. This is Virgo energy here. Are you an Earth sign by any chance?
I'm a Cancer.
Taurus, Virgo, Cap. Oh, you're Cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where that mama energy comes from. You're nurturing everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta. You're like if everybody's out. And where they're like, okay, we're going to go hang out. Let's go hit the bar, or let's go hang out, or let's go do this. You're like, all right, that's cool. I got to stop home first. I'm going to meet y'all there, or I'll catch, you got to go home first. Like, you got to, if y'all just left a certain place or it's work or something, like, you can't just go straight there. You got to go, I got to go home first. Let me go sit on my, chair for a second. You know what I mean? Make sure the shit is good. Make sure the plants are okay, or the dogs are fed. And let me, switch up my shirt real quick, get a little fresh. Like, you are a very at home type of person, so you need to feel at home in all that you do.
Let me find out you be growing weed.
But you're very nurturing. Yeah, you got to take care of people. You like, if somebody come to visit you, you thirsty? You want to eat something? You sure you're not hungry?
Yeah.
We just got this in here. You need to eat something. Come on, sit down, eat this with me. Yeah, that's you all the way. You need to service whatever you're doing, the business that you get into. You're going to feel fulfilled if you are servicing people. And I don't mean like, slaving or nothing like that. I just mean you want people to leave whatever your establishment is feeling like they got something out of that. They learned something out of that. They're better than when they came in. Yeah. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. This is Taurus energy. You need, you probably have a strong Earth like rising or moon sign. Because I feel this almost Venusian energy from you. You need to start writing down your plans. I know you have ideas, but because you're busy doing other things, you're always working, you're always taking care of other people, you carry a lot of burdens. You don't allot yourself the time to make those plans. And that's why you can't see them playing out in full, because you're not making the plans. It's like that moon card. You can only focus on the part that's illuminated to you.
Right.
So what your gut is telling you, listen to that. What your intuition is telling you, listen to it. I would say writing would be helpful for you. But look at this. The fiery climax approaches, Aries energy. You're about to and look at this, believe in the impossible. You're about to, that first reading is quite similar energy, except the approach is a little bit different. What you're doing is transmuting. So you're taking anything that would normally be a stress for you in your life, because what happens is those things put worries on your plate. So you do things out of the worry on your plate rather than enjoyment. So you're taking those things and you're finding an outlet. Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. You're not incorporating fitness routine or body movement into your business. You're using it to help you to plan your business. That's what it is. So I want you to find yourself getting into a body movement routine in the next month. Within the next month, find something you can do. I don't care if it's taking a walk or stretching or yoga or fitness, cardio, whatever you're doing. Get into a body movement routine over the course of the next month or so, and do this, but commit to it. And it doesn't have to be drastic. It could be 10, 15 minutes every day. You know what I mean? 15-minute, what do they call those? I'm not a workout person, but my mother is. There's those HIIT workouts.
The HIIT workouts.
Where you do like a lot in,
I know
where you do like a lot in one short period, and it like gets your adrenaline going and all that. Even if it's like one of those type of things for a very short period of time every day. Work on committing to something like that for the next month and a half or two.
Okay.
What's going to happen for you is it's going to loosen up all these blockages that are in your body, and it's going to help your ideas flow better. Like, I mean, you're literally going to be like in the middle of some stretching or a walk or something, and you're going to be like, oh shit, and that idea is going to come. It's going to hit you. And then I want you to write it down. I suggest carrying a notebook with you for the next month or two. Every time you get an idea, write it down. It's almost like, because we get ideas, and I talk about the brain all the time, and it's super technical, so I don't get into it with everybody. I'm like I have a Gemini moon, so that's my little, research nut inside my body that comes out. And I start talking about the cerebrum and the cerebellum and how the brain works, and how, the cerebellum is our unconscious brain, and it stores repetitive function, and we start, it gives our body it gives our body habits, patterns that goes with it, but what the frontal cortex does is it only soaks in a little bit of information. It has short-term memory. It stores short-term memory, and so it only has room for but so much, and it only stores certain things for a certain amount of time. It's like if you were reading a book, the frontal cortex is going to decide, well, we need to remember the last chapter so that you can understand the next chapter. So chapter 1 is going to be stored in that frontal cortex, so you can remember, so you can understand chapter 2 and what's happening. And then, the next few days or in a week, you don't really remember what chapter 1 was about anymore because you read it a while ago.
Right.
That's what that frontal cortex does. See, what happens is your ideas hit your frontal cortex and they sit in there for a moment, but you get focused on other things, and so they don't make their way back into your temporal lobe. They don't make their way back into your cerebellum, and so they don't get stored as long-term memory in your brain, and that's why they never get past the idea point. So when you have an idea, the movement, the body movement, I don't care if it's just you blasting some music for 15 minutes every day in the house and doing a dance party. That's what I do. Me and my kids do a dance party. All right, dance party. We're blasting the music and we're dancing till we're like sweating. Nobody's thinking anything. We feel good. We're resetting our energy. You're resetting your energy. You carry so much heaviness on your shoulders. Other people can't see it because you wear it well. You're super calm. But you carry so much on you, you got to release it. You got to let it out. And when you do, the ideas that are going to flow, because now you got your body moving, you got your energy moving, your chakras are like this. They're rolling in your body now. And your ideas are going to be like, ding. Ding, ding. After that dance party, you're going to have an idea. Whew, I feel good. Oh, shoot, ideas coming to me. I want you to write them down. When you start getting practical about your ideas and you start writing them down, they're going to expand. It's like that illuminated spot. And then the next step comes. So once you've written down what your idea was, the other day, then now the next idea is going to come, and that next dance party, the next idea is going to come, and that next cardio hit, the next idea is going to come. And so now you're no longer at square one anymore. Now you're at square 3, 4, 5, and now you're looking at it different because you're like, dang. A month ago, it didn't look like this was ever going to happen. You know what I mean? Now it looks like I got a little bit of a solid plan going. All your ideas need is practicality. They just need to be pulled from your imagination and into your physical world. And because you can't do that overnight, I hate using the word can't because you can really, if you really truly believe it.
Right.
But because it isn't reasonable or practical or logical for you to do that overnight, you want to put it into a physical form. Write it down. Put it on paper. And if you forget, because sometimes when that's not a routine that you do, it's a struggle, then record it into your recorder on your phone. Whatever your thought is when you have it, record it in there. Listen to it later before you go to bed. Just ways for you to record your ideas and hear them later and read them later and put them back into your head when you're not thinking about them, because then they become your reality. They're going to start forming more. A time to give rather than take. You are whatever you have to give is not it. You feel that way, and the reason why you hold things over on your shoulders for people is because you have this natural inclination to be a giver, to be a servicer. That's what your soul is like, built for that shit. Yeah. And so what happens is you do it for those people around you, but your soul didn't mean for that. Your soul was not, no, we don't mean it that way. We don't mean it that way. You're like, this is what I feel inclined to do. But your soul's like, no, but not that way. We mean on a grander scale.
Yeah.
Your soul is saying you should be doing something you love as it simultaneously services other people. So, but because you feel so naturally inclined to do that, you do it for those around you. You do it for people at work. You do it for your loved ones. You do it for your people at home. But what happens is it all sits on top of you, and then it drains you, and you never get to your actual dreams. You have so much knowledge to give and so much things to share with people. So much. True. So much. You really do. It's time to start putting that into a form, putting that into sharing those things. I feel like movement will firmly help you to get your ideas flowing. And I also delegation. Start asking people in the house to do some stuff. You know what I mean? I know that you want to be a provider, and you already are. So so you can continue to look at yourself that way. But it's okay for you to say, hey, I have something I'm working on. I want to start spending 30 minutes or 40 minutes in the evening working on that. You know what I mean? Are you guys okay with doing these things for me? You can split it. You know what I mean? I know usually I take the trash out and I do this and I do that and I whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is that you do at home, but start saying, would you guys be willing to rotate with me? Is it going to be okay if you maybe do this on Thursday for me, and so I can get this thing done? And the people in your life will say, that's exciting. Yeah, absolutely. No problem. And you will find yourself not having to carry as much of a load for everybody else. People around you will be willing to help you out with some things here and there. And then you'll find yourself with some time to get your body moving, your ideas flowing, and then putting it down on paper, putting it into your recorder, and start getting it in motion. Right. Yeah, because everything else you don't have to worry about. It's just going to start flowing. But this is one of those readings where it's like you're kind of your own worst enemy. You know what I mean? Yeah. At times. Because you carry a lot of load that you don't really have to, but you put it in yourself to do it, and it's okay. But what I feel your guides or that those beings around you are telling you most is that, baby, when you get into this position that you want to be in, you will be able to do way more for these people than you could ever imagine. So it's okay for you to set all of that to the side for right now, for a little while, and ask people around you to start delegating. You know what I mean? You will be surprised how willing the people around you. You're such a kind person. People love you. You know what I mean? You do a lot for them. So when you say, I have a project I'm starting to work on, I'd like to dedicate a little bit of the evening or a little bit of the weekend or a little bit of the morning to this project. And, you know I usually do these things on these days, but is it okay? Would you guys be open to swapping with me or rotating with me, or let's do some, finagling?
Yeah.
And I can almost guarantee you these people are going to be with it, with the shiz, all of it. And getting your body moving is going to, or getting into some type of fitness routine is going to open your creativity up, immensely. When you get these things down on paper, this vision is going to start becoming real to you, and it will no longer be something that you think about when you hate your job, because they're asking you to do everything because you do it so well, but they're still unwilling to pay you more to do it.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, I follow you. It makes sense. Most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely touched on a lot of points, especially with the writing stuff down and the new aspirations and stuff. Like, I've been talking about this business stuff for like the past couple months, and I really needed that, dog. I most definitely you hit home.
Yeah.
Definitely hit home.
I feel like, your aspirations are not as far away from you as you think that they are. They're very close, and you're very capable. You have such a strong mind and a strong heart.
I sense that from you.
Yeah.
My G.
There's this quote. Where's my notebook? Bring me that notebook over there, honey.
Oh, God, I do.
Please bring me my notebook from over there. There's a couple of quotes I want to read to you. I feel they're relevant, and I think that you'll like them. Yeah. They're about confidence. And so, have you ever heard of Londrell?
Londrell, no, I haven't.
Yeah, I suggest you listen to him. He makes music, and he also makes a lot of meditation tracks and stuff. I think you'll really like his music, but that's just one suggestion. But so this quote, I have a few quotes here, and they're all about confidence. And I think that if you focus on your solar plexus for a little bit, and this is all things bright yellow, bright oranges, these things, like eating foods of those colors, wearing those colors even. It's all about your solar plexus. So technically the solar plexus is right here. It's in I'm sorry, that's where it is for me. It's in the top of your stomach is what I should say. But the way that I don't know how much you guys know about chakras, but chakras are taught in one order, so it's like the root, the sacral, and so on and so forth. But what I've learned in my internal knowing, and the further I dive in, is that we don't all have, our chakras are not all placed in the same order. They're in different orders. So for me, my solar is like where my heart would be, and my heart is in the top of my stomach. And so I feel all of my heart action at the top of my stomach. And so when I was trying to figure out how to balance my chakras, it was very difficult for me to do so because I was attacking the wrong places and that had those imbalances. And so where you feel that imbalance in your body, and the solar for most people is generally in the top of the stomach, a lot of stomach action. It's where your self-esteem is sitting. It's where that confidence comes from. It's where that drive comes from. And when it's out of whack, we'll find ourselves not being as driven into things, or we'll find ourselves saying, well, I don't have a lot of experience in that, so I'm going to just let the expert do it. Or I don't want to charge for that because I've only been doing it for a little bit of time, and I just don't know if I should, feel comfortable being able to charge for that. Well, we give ourselves this imposter syndrome. Well, I don't know if I can't do that because, I don't know. I don't have a lot of schooling on that, and I don't have a degree in that, and we find all these reasons why we can't do it. But there's only two things, and I mentioned that earlier, that separate people, is their belief and their non-belief. And you'll find that there are people who have never gone to schooling for something who are absolutely thriving in that area and running businesses and doing all types of stuff. And you'll find that there are people who went to 4 and 5 and 6 years of schooling to get a degree, and they're not even working in that field. So I'll read these comments. This is a quote by William Hazlitt, an English essayist from the 1800s, and he says, "As is our confidence, so is our capacity. Vince Lombardi, who is a football coach in the 60s, says confidence is contagious, and so is the lack of confidence. And Mark Twain, who was an American writer in the 1800s, says, all you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure. And I'll repeat that. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is sure. A lot of people who do successful things only do it because they believe they can. You ever watch that movie Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio, where he pretends to be all these people?
One of my favorite
movies.
Literally
don't get it till like the end. They're like, what the hell?
Right.
All the while, he was just rolling with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Going with the flow.
Yeah. I want you to embody that. This reading, I feel it all boils down to for you is embodying that confident energy, and it will create your success for you. Just being in the energy of what you want to be in, it will create your success for you. You are already beyond capable of doing the things that you desire doing. Those two ideas, I don't even think you have to stick to the one. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can do both of them.
Right.
I don't see you starting one business in one lane and sticking to that. I don't see you coming to the conclusion that this one's the one for me and this is the only one I'm going to do. You may start with one.
Right.
But you will accomplish both of them, if not more than those two. Okay? Because you have everything it takes to do it. What you're needing to do is just delegate. Don't put so much on your shoulders, because what happens is when you start rolling those businesses, you will eventually be capable of doing all of the things you do now and more.
Yeah.
And you won't have to sweat doing it. And all you want to do right now is focus on your confidence. I think that looking at yourself, and I don't know if you ever have mirror talks, but I recommend these all the time when I do readings for people. Start forcing yourself or holding yourself accountable with spending time in the mirror. And I'm not talking about, brushing your beard up or brushing your teeth or making sure that you look decent before you walk out the door. I'm not talking about checking the gookie in your eyes. I'm talking about after you did all of that. Spending at least 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. And if you don't know how long it is, set a timer on your phone and sit it on the counter or somewhere in the bathroom where you're going to hear it when it goes off, and looking at yourself for that long. And just stare at yourself. And sometimes, and it'll be uncomfortable at first because we're not taught to do things like this, but eventually your body will need it.
Right.
And when you get up, it'll say, we didn't have our mirror talk.
Yeah.
And you're going to start spending time in that mirror. And it's going to go from you awkwardly staring at yourself for 5 minutes because that lady, Renee, that you met on the podcast that night told you to do that, to you having 5 minutes of straight motivational conversation with yourself, to 10 minutes of mirror talks, to 15 minutes of mirror talks, to you might have to stop a couple times at the mirror and check yourself out because you're like, damn, I'm the shit. And this is just a way of you loving on yourself, doing the thing that you would do for those around you.
Right.
Because you're very much that person that says, damn, babe, you the shit.
Yeah.
Oh no, you got this. You could do that. So why do those other people around you deserve it and you don't? You deserve all of that. The only person that can give it to you first is you before other people can give it to you. And when you start forcing yourself to have that time with yourself, I tell people all the time, when you get out the shower, stop rushing to get dressed. Walk around naked for a little bit and take a lot longer to put some lotion on than you normally do.
Right.
Because these are intimate moments with yourself. And the more that you connect with your body, the more that the creativity that is already naturally inside of you flows through you, and then it starts to ooze out of you. And then you walk around and you're just a walking piece of art. And you're not necessarily doing anything, but people are enamored with who you are, and they want to know you, and they want to know what you do because you shine. So what is it that you do? And then now you're like, well, since you asked, these are the things that I do. And they're like, oh, word. Yeah. Say word. and then they have some little piece of the puzzle that you've been thinking about lately.
I'm most definitely gonna have to start doing that.
Yeah. I hope that was helpful for you, my love. Thank you for allowing me to tap into your energy.
Most definitely. I appreciate it too. Most definitely touched on a lot of points too. I sure been talking a lot of self-love lately and loving myself and trying to get this business stuff going too. Most definitely. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you. And I am very much in support of all that you're doing. So keep me posted.
I most definitely will. Most definitely will. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Jared's not gonna do his reading. He has to get out of here, but
okay.
We'll definitely do this again, and when we do this, he'll be first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be exciting to come on and do this again. And just, I talk about a world of things, so, we went off on some tangents, but that's what I love to do. So, if ever you guys want to have chat about more the uncommon, I guess, you know what I mean, outer worldly talk, that's just like where I'm at. I'm always sitting right there in the weird lane. People call it weird, but I love weird.
You love weird?
I do.
Weird is godly.
It's godly. It is. They know what's up.
So, thank you again. This was very enlightening.
That was a perfect word.
Eye-opening.
What did you say?
Eye-opening.
Well needed.
Yeah, and I felt like this was gonna be good, but it was better than I expected. So
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
Well, I thank you for having me and allowing me to, sit on your floor for a little while. And it's been fun. It's been fun hanging out with you guys. I appreciate you.
So if you want to shout out all your information again before we get out of here.
Yeah, sure. So again, I am Renee in Tune, and I do everything from tarot reading to mentorship, teaching astrology, and, talking about all things weird. So you can find me. The hub is really my website at reneeintune.com. That's RENEEINTUNE, and there is a link to pretty much all of my pages there. But if you want to find me on any platform, or I won't say any platform because there are tons out there, but I am on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find me at Renee in Tune on all of those platforms. I also have a link to, I love music, so if you guys want to check out music, I have a link on my website to a Spotify playlist that I made for my listeners, because I'm always shouting out music that people, haven't heard of. But you can find tons of music on my Spotify. So
what's your favorite artist right now?
My hub, Renee in Tune, where to find me, and all my links are there.
What's your favorite artist right now?
Right now, oh my gosh, this is so hard because one, I listen to all decades of music.
Me too. Pick
I listen
one.
to all
Me
types
too.
of music.
Me too. Pick one right now.
Can I get a few?
Nope. One.
Oh my God, it's so difficult.
I mean, what did you last play? Because you're right. Because me too. Like
this is what I mean. I literally listen to all types of music every day on a different genres, different artists, because I listen to all types of music. So right now, I would say it's hard to boil it down to one. But if you're right now, who I'm listening to the most, I would say, is, because I'm always in different places. On a more smooth tone, if you're wanting to listen to like more, chakra balancing music, or if you're into like jazzy stuff, I'm listening to FKJ, French Kiwi Juice, Masigo, Londrell. If you're into hip hop, I'm listening to Ciroc. I'm listening to oh gosh, there's so many artists. I'm listening to like Earth Gang, people like that. Everybody I'm listening to is more so in a today setting, is more so like underground. If you're talking about like highly mainstream, I would probably listen to Boz, J. Cole, people more like that, I would say. But I like old school hip hop, so
got you.
that's
Like
kind of where I'm at with it.
Earthganger.
Like the
I'm
taste.
a Nas type of listener, you know what I mean? Or even like the Common, you know. But I like people like Salam Remy is doing it right now. Dropped an amazing recent album. Yeah. Ciroc is amazing. She's dope as hell.
I'm gonna have to peep her because I have no idea who that is.
I have no idea who Ciroc is. We most definitely gonna have to tap in.
I've never.
And it's a female, so
Yeah,
she
you gotta
probably
look
fire, huh?
LaRoyce is dropping some good.
I know who LaRoyce is.
Hip hop right now.
I don't know.
I know who LaRoyce is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, once again,
Yeah, but you can. Yeah, we could talk, man. We could probably have a couple episodes talk about music. I love me some music,
For sure.
but I also love people that can teach me about music because, you know,
Hey,
I find a lot of.
you definitely got to come on here live. Where you from?
Yeah.
Where you from?
she said someone on East.
Where you from?
Yeah, you guys. I'm sorry.
Where you from?
I'm from New York originally.
Where you living
I'm
now?
a Bronx baby. I was born in the Bronx, born and raised in South Bronx. I live in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
I live in the DMV, East Coast.
No, that'd be cool. We got that's next steps. We got to get guests here. Virtual is not enough.
Yeah.
I like the
energy.
the energies, bro. Like, you got a gift where you can feel the energies through the voice and shit. But like the personal shit, that's the best shit to me. When you have
Physical. So I'm not far from Baltimore. Where are you guys located?
We're in Milwaukee. Home of the championship.
Oh, Milwaukee.
You can Google it. You can see where the basketball championship was last. You gonna find
Yeah, I know. Oh, I'm a big b-ball fan.
Oh yeah, you know.
Yeah, my mama raised me on some balls. So I know all about that.
Bet you know about Giannis.
Yeah, I know about the Bucks.
just had
I know
the
about the
game
Bucks
on.
and everybody.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, so who your favorite player then? Your favorite player and your favorite team?
That's a whole nother realm because the NBA has had so many changes in the last few seasons.
It has.
So I can't even call
So
it
what's
for
your
real.
favorite team?
She a Knick fan, of course, right?
I'm always I'm always a Knick fan because I love I'm one of them type of New Yorkers.
No Brooklyn.
But I really like I like a lot of other teams.
No Brooklyn love.
I actually like the Bucks. A few seasons ago, I was actually since I was pregnant with my twins, they started really standing out to me, and there was a couple of players that were really really standing out to me. But I like many teams. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the sport. I'm not where I'm at here. This is more of like a football state. You know what I mean? So yeah, everything here is like Ravens versus Steelers versus all those. When it comes to football, I'm probably an Eagles fan, and I'll call it a day there.
That's what they are now, right?
Call it a day at that. But I love the game of basketball. I can watch any game, especially if it's exciting.
Right. Okay.
I actually used to manage, and when I was in high school, I used to manage basketball. I did all the books, all the stats. That was fun. That was really fun. I had a ball. But I won't keep you guys. I done already gave my outro. Thank you guys again. It's been real.
No,
Absolutely.
We'll definitely touch bases and do it again.
yes,
For sure.
That's how I know you're lying.
I'm gonna follow you.
So thank you again.
Y'all have a beautiful evening.
You too.
You too.
All right, you too.
Peace, my loves.
Peace.
We don't respond to shit with Vaughn.
Well, that's been another episode. I hope y'all were as enlightened as we were.
Highly enlightened.
Not Included podcast everywhere: Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Cash App. Any final words from you fellas?
I want to beat up Snacks.
Why?
That's not beat up
It's
Snax.
just so peaceful.
It was just so peaceful.
Because you didn't get the tarot reading. I wanted his tarot reading.
I did want to hear his tarot reading badly.
So I can
Badly.
oh,
So this what you be on.
right? Because you don't say nothing, bro. You ain't like John or two mysterious beings.
He give you a snippet. He give you that intro story, and after that, it's up to your imagination.
Yeah. That's all right. We gonna get her back. Yeah, you first, nigga. Nigga.
That's fine.
Well, that's it, man. We out.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm tired.